How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. How are we doing today? Coming at you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, as we do each and every day. Well, most days. How we doing, folks? Let's see. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. How we doing this morning? Good morning to you. Before we get started here, we're just turning the live on. We're getting situated. Top of the morning to you, folks. How we doing? It's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Oh, let me turn my camera around. Let me shout out. Turn my camera around. How's everybody doing? We're here to talk about, well, you know what we talk about, folks. All things type 2 diabetes, all things insulin resistance, all things gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes. Man, the whole gambit of things we talk about. But the most important thing that we talk about medications. Like, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you to get on your medication or get off your medication. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can show you the way that it's your lifestyle. It's your lifestyle that caused you to become a pre-diabetic. It's your lifestyle that caused you to have insulin resistance, folks. Today, we're going to figure that out and how to defeat it. Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen. When you're just coming into the room, do me a favor and bebop that screen. Double tap that screen. And then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. They're struggling with type 2 diabetes. They're struggling with pre-diabetes. They're struggling with all of that. So double tap that screen and then share this live out there with them. My name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. But here's the thing. Wasn't always a nutritionist. Wasn't always a health coach. So a few years ago, I was in terrible shape. Terrible shape, to say the least. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, you name it, I had it. You name it, I had it. But here's the thing, folks. In 2026, I don't even have any of that stuff anymore. There's no resemblance of any of that. The only way that you know is if you pull up my old reports from like years ago, like 2019, 2020. That's how you'd be able to tell. Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition, folks. Like I said, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, man, they're struggling with all of that. We're going to get down to the bottom of it today. Why? It's because it doesn't need to exist. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, man, it doesn't need to exist. You can eliminate it out of your life. I mean, forever. You ever watch that movie, The Sandlot, when they say, hey, how long this dog got to stay pinned up in the back here? And they were like, and the cop was like, forever. You remember that part of the movie? Well, it's the same thing when it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes. You can defeat type 2 diabetes forever. It doesn't have to rear its ugly head ever again in your life. You can knock it out. You can get it out of there. You know what I mean? You don't have to, it doesn't have to come back. It's a choice. I'll say this. It's a choice if you let it come back. Like I'm not letting it come back. 2021 was the year that I decided I was going to defeat type 2 diabetes. Now, here's the thing, folks. 2026, I have a good feeling that that's going to be your year. That's going to be the year that you reverse type 2 diabetes. So do me a favor, folks. Share this live out. If you're just coming into the room, share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Share it out. Double tap the screen. Appreciate you, Eddie. Shout out to you, Eddie, Gail, Mo, bro. Shout out to y'all for joining the live. We're talking about my name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. But like I said earlier, I wasn't always a nutritionist. Wasn't always a health coach. A few years ago, I was in terrible shape. Terrible shape. Type 2 diabetes is ravaging our community, folks. Insulin resistance is ravaging our community. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to. We can actually fight back. We don't just have to, sit back on our hands and let this thing win. We don't have to do that unless we decide to let it do it. But listen, folks, we're human beings. Human beings are greatest creation on this planet. A human being. It's the greatest. Our mind is crazy. So a little thing like type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. Here's the thing. If other people have done it, if other people have reversed it, what makes them, they're human being too, right? If they've reversed it, why can't you reverse it? We're all human beings. We all got the same kind of amount of brain capacity, the same amount of know-how or the ability to do. We've all got the ability to do. So if other people have reversed type 2 diabetes, they reverse pre-diabetes, they reverse PCOS, like you've heard stories. If they done it, then hell, so too can you. So too can you. So how we doing, folks? It's Kelley. If you're just joining into the room, a couple of folks coming into the room. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. When you're coming into the room, folks, do me a favor, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then and then hold down my face, and then share the live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Well, we're going to get into it early today. We're going to talk about all things insulin resistance. But another thing is, let me know where you're from, folks. I'm from Houston, Texas. Let me know where you're from. What city you're from, what country you're from, what state you're from. What questions do you got in regards to insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, or what is it, or can it be reversed, or any questions that you got, man. Don't be bashful. Throw them in the chat. I'm here to answer them. Like I said, I'm a nutritionist and I'm a health coach, but I wasn't always a nutritionist and I wasn't always a health coach, because a few years ago, I was in terrible shape. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, all three. I'm going to show you a picture, all three. You want to know what diabetes, heart disease, and being obese looks like in one picture? I'm going to show you. Okay. In one picture, this is what it looks like. Uh-oh. This is what it looks like. In one picture, folks. This is called diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Shout out to Maryland, my old stomping ground. Shout out I see the crab. Shout out to the crab cakes. Oh, folks. This is what you call being diabetic. We're getting diagnosed with diabetes and heart disease and being obese, all at the very same doctor's visit. So 2 weeks after I took this picture, folks, 2 weeks, I got diagnosed with heart disease, obesity, and being and having type 2 diabetes. 2 weeks after. Crazy, right? Crazy after that. Look how I was smiling. You think I'd be smiling like that had I known I had diabetes? Hell no. Hell no, I wouldn't be smiling like that. But that's what that's called, folks. All at the same doctor's visit. It's a crazy day. So here's the thing, though. No more, like I told you before, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. None of that. So if you know anybody that's struggling with type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, folks, you share this live out there with them, because we're going to get into it today. Any questions that y'all got? No questions for me? If not, we're going to get to the board, and we're going to talk about what the hell is insulin resistance and how the hell can you defeat it. That's what we're going to talk. Okay, we got some folks over here. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Andy over here. Remember R2 Butler held you upside down on your legs in the birthing and shook the stuff out of your pockets. That was fun. Yeah. That was I remember that. All right. Me and Butler used to always go at it. This is one of my Navy folks over here, folks. He's talking about stuff from when I was in the Navy. You see, I was in the Navy as well. But when I was in the Navy, I didn't have heart disease. I wasn't obese, and I wasn't, I didn't have type 2 diabetes. But here's the thing. When I got out at the age of 30 years old. 30. So I had 10 years of kind of just no discipline, just doing whatever I want, eating whatever I want, however I want it, for as long as I want it. And as a result, by the time that I turned 40, heart disease, for 10 years of just doing whatever the hell I wanted. Turned 40, heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes. 10 years after I got out of the Navy. You know what I'm saying? It can happen quick, folks. That's how quickly you can let yourself go. But here's the thing, though. I'm closer to 50 now, closer to 50 than I am to 40. But here's the thing, what I've done since then. Reverse type 2 diabetes. Reverse the heart disease. And as you can tell, I'm wearing like little tiny shirts now. I'm no longer obese. So the question is, how did I do that? Well, I did it through the power of my lifestyle. Because folks, that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. I wish there were another way, but there's no other way. I wish there were an easy way instead of just changing your lifestyle. Like, folks, if I knew of an easier way, I would freaking tell you. I would. I'd be like, yo, just take this pill, take that, and you're good. You can do whatever. You can still eat whatever you want. Like I did when I was in my 30s, you can still eat whatever you want. I wish there were a different way. But there's not. There's not. Is Greek yogurt healthy? No, it is not. Greek yogurt is not healthy, Deidre. What are some of the first steps you should take to reduce insulin resistance? Number one, knowing what it is. That's step number one, which we're going to talk about right now. What is it? Is Greek yogurt healthy? No, it is not. What did you do? I am at work. Tell us, sorry, night rushing you. Here's what I did. I'll give you the quick story. I changed my lifestyle. I changed what I was eating. I changed mainly, what I was eating. Because here's what I was eating before. Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods. That's an acronym. Stands for crap. Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods. So I cut that out, number one. Number two is I replaced that with real whole unprocessed foods. And I cut out the dairy, as folks are asking about, the yogurt. Okay. What did I start eating? Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, a lot of legumes, aka beans, right? And then leaner sources of protein. So whatever protein source you choose, like whichever one you choose, right? But here are the choices: chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh. This is what I did. And I did this every single day. I replaced the old food that I was eating every single day, the junk food. That's what I was eating every single day. And I replaced it with real food every single day. And ultimately, within a matter of weeks, I started to shed the weight. I went back to the doctor a year later. That's when they diagnosed me. No diabetes, no heart disease. You're not obese, right? All because I changed what I was eating. Now, had I not changed what I was eating, guess what was happening? Guess what would happen? You would be on somebody else's live right now. Okay? You'd be on somebody else's live right now because I wouldn't be here. Even low fat plain yogurt. Yes, yogurt is dairy. This is dairy is scary. Doesn't matter what kind of yogurt it is. It's long as if it's dairy yogurt, yes, it's scary. So no. Why is Greek yogurt not healthy? Because it's dairy. And dairy is scary. Two things about Greek yogurt. Number one is you're not a baby. That's number one. Because that's what milk is for. Milk and dairy and all that stuff. That's what it's for. Number one. Number two is you're not a cow. Number one, you're not a baby. And number two is you're not a baby. And you damn sure are not a baby cow. You know what I'm saying? That's baby cow growth fluid. That's what it is. It's not baby human growth fluid. It's baby cow. And it's damn sure not designed for an adult. It's designed for a baby cow. Now, you put that into your body all day, every day, you're going to cause a whole bunch of fireworks are going to go off. Inflammation everywhere, swelling, mucus, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere. So that's why dairy is scary. So stay with the veggies, fruits, veggies, nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans. Yes, add more plants to your life. Add more plants to your diet. Eat more plants is what I say. And then leaner sources of protein, right? So whether it be chicken, whether it be steak, whether it be eggs, whether it be fish, whether it be, tofu, tempeh, the leaner sources, not the crap protein, right? Here's the crap protein. Bacon, sausage, salami, pepperoni, deli meats, hot dogs. Those are called processed meat. You stay away from those. Thank you. I'll follow you. Have a grand day. Shout out to you. Weeks, that's fast. Yeah, Yeah, that's fast. There's people who are joining my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and making great strides. Are you going to get rid of diabetes in 14 days? No, you're not going to. It takes at least 90 days to get rid of to see the whole picture. But in as little as 14 days, man, people in my 14-day challenge are killing the game, bro. 14 days. That's the power of food. That's it. It's the power of food. Weeks. That's fat. Yeah. No pork. Yeah. No lips that touch swine will ever touch mine. What about milk? Is that not yogurt? Milk is dairy. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you took the dairy and you turned it into yogurt. Doesn't matter if you took the dairy and you turned it into cheese. Doesn't matter if you took the dairy and you turned it into whatever you make cheese out of. I mean, dairy out of. That's a whole bunch of stuff that people make dairy out of. I mean, make cheese, yogurt, ice cream. These are all dairy. Dairy, and dairy is scary. You stop dairy for people in my 14-day challenge. You stop dairy for 14 days. Watch. Just do an experiment on yourself. Just stop dairy for 14 days. Right? Just 2 weeks. Just stop it. And see what happens to your body. You'll start like, ooh, you start breakdancing again, like you Michael Jackson or somebody. Brown rice. Brown rice, yes, you can do rice, but here's the thing. You got to know how to eat the rice. That's the question. You got to know how to eat the rice. Never eat the rice by itself ever again. Never again in your life eat rice again by itself. Do you have to eliminate bread? You don't have to eliminate bread, but you got to be very, very strategic in how you eat it. And strategic in what type of bread that you eat. Now, if you're talking about the traditional white bread that you're getting out of the store and the traditional whole wheat bread, okay, that's all marketing. You don't want those. If you're going to get a bread, do something like an Ezekiel bread, right? An Ezekiel bread. That would be a seeded bread. That would be a better option. So bacon, yeah, I don't recommend the bacon because the bacon is a group 1 carcinogen, folks. And you don't want to fool around with a group. You don't even want to fool around a little bit with a group 1 carcinogen, folks. Like, nah. So all of the deli meats that I named, these are all group 1 carcinogens. Bacon, salami, sausage, even turkey sausage, turkey bacon. People are like, what about turkey bacon? Even turkey bacon, folks. Even turkey bacon. Pepperonis, all of this stuff. Let's see. What do you think about fermented foods like kimchi? Yes, that's great. Fermented foods like kimchi are great. That would be a much better option if you told me, so I got kimchi, you got sauerkraut. That's a much better option than something that comes from dairy like kefir, right? Kefir, however you say it, kefir. It's a much better option. Bacon becomes carcinogenic, yes. And it's burnt, yes. That's exactly it, yes. That's exactly it. Bacon is a group 1 carcinogen. You're absolutely right, Jimmy. 445-8481. Let's see. Can I have brown? Where is your book? My book is, I got a book. It's right in my, if you click here, click on my picture again, and then you click on my webpage, you'll see an option to go for my book. I got a book. I got another book coming out, though, this spring called Unlock Your Diabetes Freedom. Woo! It's gonna change the game on metabolic health, folks. It's gonna change the freaking game on metabolic health. And then shout out to my guy Andy over here. Happy birthday to you, boss. My Navy shipmate. Happy birthday to you, Andy. Can we have mayonnaise? Yes, you can do mayonnaise because mayonnaise is not dairy. All right, it's eggs and it's like olive oil or it's something. So, but it's not dairy. So you can do mayo. Nut milk, yes, you can do nut milks, but it depends on the nut milk, right? There's still a lot of there's of course there's almond milk, you got coconut milk, you got all these different kind of plant milks, pistachio milk, cashew milk. Best to use your Yuka app. When you go to the store, use your Yuka app. That'll tell you what the best option is. But damn sure you don't want to do oat milk. If you got diabetes, folks, type 2 diabetes, the plant milk that you don't want to do, 2 of them actually. Oat milk, rice milk. You don't want to do oat milk, you don't want to do rice milk. Hard to find Ezekiel bread. Yeah, you ain't gonna find that at Walmart. You know what I mean? You're gonna find Ezekiel bread at Walmart or like the traditional store. You gotta maybe go to like Sprouts or Whole Foods to get that. right? That's the only place that you can really get it from. Garlic and ginger tea, thank me later. Yeah, that's a good one. Which oil you use other than olive oil for frying? Yeah, well we're gonna try to eliminate the frying as much as we possibly can. But here are the 3 oils: avocado, coconut, olive. Avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, right? Avocado, coconut, olive. If it ain't avocado, if it ain't coconut, if it ain't olive, put it back on the shelf, right? Put it back on the shelf. What do you eat for breakfast? A savory breakfast. This is what you eat for breakfast: a protein, a non-starchy veggie, and a healthy fat, like an avocado. So an example would be chicken breast and broccoli with an avocado. That's a savory breakfast. Savory. Another example could be salmon with asparagus. These are non-starchy veggies. If you want the list of non-starchy veggies, go get it out of my bio. But salmon, asparagus, some almonds. Get you a big piece of salmon, you know what I mean? Fill up on the protein in the morning. That's what you want to do in the morning. You want to fill up, you want to prioritize protein in the morning, folks. You do that in the morning, that's going to keep you satiated throughout the day instead of the spike. You don't want the spike first thing in the morning. You don't want to start your day off eating a Captain Crunch. You know, you feel what I'm saying? You don't want to start your day off eating Frosted Flakes. You don't want to start your day off eating a bowl of Rice Krispies with a whole bunch of sugar in it. You feel what I'm saying? And then drink the milk. You don't want that. Okay? You don't want to start your day off like that, right? And then you get some coffee and just straight to the head and you put all the artificial stuff. You don't want to start your day off like that. It's going to be a crazy day. But anyhow, back to the questions. I have to change almost my entire diet. If you want to reverse type 2 diabetes, this is all about how badly do you want it. It's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to change from eating a crap to eating clean eating. You're going to have to. If not, what you resist will persist. If you resist doing that, diabetes, type 2 diabetes will persist. That's how it goes. It's these are principles, these are laws, right? Will you pin it? Will I pin what? Will I pin what? I'm going to show you where you're talking about where the ultimate veggie guide is. That's absolutely free, by the way, folks. The ultimate veggie guide, absolutely free. Those veggies that I was naming off, some of the non-starchy veggies, the asparagus, broccoli, and all that stuff, you're like, I don't know what these veggies are. But if you download the ultimate veggie guide, then you got some artillery. You got some tools when you go to the store. You feel what I'm saying? What bread do you recommend? An Ezekiel bread. That would be a better option. Ezekiel bread is a better option. Big up to you, Paul. Oatmeal okay? No, it's not. No, it is not. It's okay for the normal. If you're metabolically flexible, you don't have diabetes, type 2 diabetes. If you're not insulin resistant, it's okay. But if you're insulin resistant, oatmeal is not going to be necessarily your friend, especially not in the morning. That's not part of a savory breakfast. It's part of a sweet breakfast. Frozen section of Walmart, Ezekiel bread. Okay, okay. If you can go to, there it is. Somebody say you can get it out of the frozen. You know what? I have seen it in the frozen sections. If I don't go to Sprouts or if I go to a different store, you know what? You're right. I actually do see it in the frozen sections, the Ezekiel bread. You're absolutely right. Yeah. It's over there by it's like by the frozen fruit and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That area. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Janet, for saying that. Dunkin' Creamer has to go because it's dairy and processed, right? I think I'm catching on. Yes, that is dairy. It is both. Yes, dairy and it's processed, right? But mainly it's dairy. You know, that's the one. That's because that's scary. Breakfast on the go from a store. Breakfast on the go from a store. You got it. Well, I'm putting together something, right? I'm putting together when you go out and then into these restaurants, like what is the best options that you can have? So I'm putting that together. So be on the lookout for that soon. Best option. I'm going to do big things in 2026, folks. Book. The book. Yeah, I got a book. Yeah, it's linked in my bio. So if you click there, click on my picture again, you click on my website, you'll find the book there, but you can find it everywhere. You can find my book on Amazon, but here's the book that's coming out that's going to change the game. That's going to be coming out in the spring Unlock your diabetes freedom. It is Unlock Your Diabetes Freedom, a no-nonsense guide to reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. That's the book. That's it. It's gonna be a game changer. Sweet potato. What about sweet potato? You can do sweet potato, but again, it depends. You got to eat the sweet potato right. You got to eat it right. You feel what I'm saying? Don't eat the sweet potato by itself. That's not great. But sweet potatoes are good, but not by themselves. What about sourdough bread? If you sourdough bread, the traditional sourdough, the sourdough bread that you see in the store, that's all crap, right? That's not real stuff. That's kind of like artificial sourdough bread. But even authentic sourdough bread, if you get some authentic sourdough bread, it's still going to raise your blood sugar. So you still got to be careful. It's still white bread at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? Even though it's made a little bit different, it's better for you, a little bit better for your blood sugar, but it's still going to raise your blood sugar. It's still white bread at the end of the day. What coffee? What coffee? What about coffee? You saying what about coffee, or what do you mean what coffee? What about cream of wheat and frozen vegetables? Frozen vegetables, yes. Cream of wheat, hell no. What's the issue with dairy, folks? We're gonna get into dairy. I'm gonna answer all y'all questions about dairy. It's freaking scary. It's not for you. That's the simplest way I can say it. Dairy is not for you. It's for a baby cow. It's for a baby cow. You're a mammal. I'm a mammal. Like, we're all mammals. The definition of a mammal is a species that produces milk so that for their young, so that they can the young can feed on the milk while they're growing, because they don't have any teeth. They're like young. They're like, you know what I mean? So they have to drink the milk. Dairy or milk is very, very gender specific. Not gender, but species specific. Sorry. Species specific. A cow has cow milk for a baby cow. A goat has goat milk for a baby cow. Let's see, a human. I don't know if you know humans, but humans have human milk for human babies. You know what I'm saying? Why is the ratio of nutrients is different? The macronutrient profile is different. The protein, the fat, and the carbohydrate, the ratios are all different. Why is the ratio different between the species? Because how quickly does that particular mammal grow? For instance, it takes a cow 2.5 years to become a full-fledged adult. 2.5 years. It takes a cow 30 to 60 days to double in size. From the time they're born, it takes 30 to 60 days. So that's why they got more protein in their milk. Human beings take 4 months, 120 days to double. That's why we got less protein in our milk. But here's the thing, though. Here's the big old thing. Here's the thing. There's no mammal, and I mean no mammal, that will drink milk after they've been weaned off of it. None. Zero. Except for one. Except for one. You want to know who that is? Not only do we go back to the milk, humans, but we go back to the milk from not a human, but from another species. Another species, folks. So you wonder why when you drink dairy, it F's you up. You know what I mean? It is not nice when you drink it. A lot of stuff happens, inflammation and mucus and all kinds of cancer growth and all kinds of growth due to dairy, because that's what it's designed to do, make things grow. So dairy is not for you, folks. I'm sorry. What about date syrup? Is that acceptable? Yeah. I would say this: if you're struggling with type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar, no. The dates by themselves, yes, but the date sugar, no. Date syrup, I wouldn't recommend it. What about protein shakes? It depends on the protein shake. Is it those glucernas and all that stuff with all the dairy and trash in it? No. No. What about hot chocolate? Is that dairy? If it's dairy, then no. Is it okay to drink coffee? Yes, it's okay to drink coffee. It's the stuff that you put in the coffee that's terrible. Boiled eggs, yes, you can do boiled eggs, yes. What are your thoughts on juicing? You can juice if you have type 2 diabetes, you can juice the veggies, juice the vegetables, those non-starchy veggies, but you cannot juice the fruit. That's it. You cannot juice the fruit, because if you juice the fruit, it's no different than drinking a Coca-Cola. No different than drinking a Coca-Cola, folks, if you juice it. What are your thoughts? Yep. Can I have soy-based protein in the morning and then maybe a serving of potato, sweet potato? You can't have the sweet potato in the morning, no. But you can have your tofu and you can have your tempeh and you can have your edamame beans. These are all soy protein sources. So yes, you can do that. But the sweet potato in the morning, no, you don't want to do that in the morning. Can I have liquid egg whites? You can do liquid egg whites. Yep. Thanks for finding it in the frozen foods. Yeah, I'd rather have it ready, fresh, but I can use frozen. Yeah. The Ezekiel bread, you can. Now that I think about it, and someone brought it up, yeah, you can find it usually at like Walmart in the frozen area. You're actually right. Is Progress still the savings code? Yes, Progress is still the code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, because that's what you're going to make progress in 2026. Yes, progress. Humans, yes. You're human. You're not a baby cow. You're absolutely right. Baby cow milk is for baby cows. Milk is for babies, period. Okay. But dairy, the one that you get out of the store, that's specifically for a baby cow, which grows 3 times faster than you do. I mean, it has 3 times the amount of protein in it than human milk. 3 times the amount. This is why when you give a human baby, cow's milk, is why the little sucker grows so fast. It's like, yo, my baby is growing fast. Let me think. I wonder why. Could it be because of that dairy that you're giving them that makes a 65-pound mammal, 65-pound calf when it's born grow into a 400-pound behemoth? Yeah, it might be that. It might just be that. What's a good breakfast? A savory breakfast. We talked about that earlier, but protein, a good protein source. So whether it be chicken, steak, eggs, right? Or and then a non-starchy veggie like a broccoli, and then an avocado. That's called a savory breakfast, not a sweet breakfast. You don't want a sweet breakfast. Wow, my body did it, and it owns it. It rejects everything but clean meat protein. Yeah, it knew. Yeah. So, folks, is this making sense on this dairy stuff, or you guys is just like it's still not making sense on the dairy? Don't worry, if it's still not making sense, I'll make it make sense. Okay, I'll make it make sense. How do I talk my stubborn father into the feel-good system? We ain't doing the feel-good system over here, right? We feeling good with real food over here. But here's the thing: you can't talk anybody into anything. They got to want to be able to do it themselves, William. If they don't want to do it themselves, then you ain't got a chance in hell of convincing them. You ain't got a shot in hell. I promise you, William, you ain't got it if they don't want to do it for themselves. Pork meat, sir, it's okay to eat for protein. Well, no lips that touch swine will ever touch mine. All right, folks, we're going to the board over here. We're getting ready to talk. Do me a favor, folks. Put the word insulin resistance in the chat. Put the word insulin resistance in the chat, because if you've ever wondered what the hell insulin resistance is, you ever wondered what the hell it was. Oh, somebody, you joined the challenge already. Shout out to you for joining the challenge. Shout out to you for joining our 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I think you asked about the code earlier, but yes, congratulations to you, because your life is never going to be the same again. You can look back on this moment today. What is today? The 15th, I think. Let me see what the day is. January 15th, I think. Yeah, you're going to look back on January 15th, and you're going to say, this is the day that it all changed. This is the day when it came to diabetes, like we kicked it in there. You know what I'm saying? This is it, because we eliminated it in 2026. So shout out to you. Check your email, check your text, and for joining that 14th. Congratulations for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Good morning. Shout out to you, Miss T, insulin resistance. All right, y'all putting it in the chat. How do I join the 14-day challenge? You click that link, you click here, and then you click on my picture again, and it will take you to that link in my bio. That link in my bio is where you'll find the 14-day challenge. That is where you use the discount code to join the challenge. Progress. Progress is the discount code to join that challenge. Insulin resistance. Here it is. Let's get into it, folks. Who's ever wondered what the hell insulin resistance was and don't know what the hell it is? Well, now today, we're going to break that mold. I'm going to tell you what insulin resistance is and how to defeat it. Folks, who can tell me If you just joined us, folks, my name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. But I wasn't always a health coach. But I wasn't always a nutritionist, folks. I wasn't always a health coach. Because a few years ago, I had diabetes, heart disease, obesity, a severe case of what you call insulin resistance, a severe case of, it's got so many names to it, like that insulin resistance cause. They just call it, you know what they call it in the medical industry? Metabolic syndrome. I had metabolic syndrome. Here, if you got 3 out of the 5, you probably got metabolic syndrome too, just like how I had. High blood sugar, this is one of them. High blood pressure, that's another one. Low HDL, which is the good cholesterol. High triglycerides. And then the 5th one is a big belly, right? A big belly, abdominal obesity. If you've got 3 out of the 5 that I just called, you've got a condition known as metabolic syndrome. That's what they call it. It's just a fancy way of saying that you're insulin resistant. That's all it is. Okay, that's all it is. But folks, who can tell me what happened? Oh, and I reversed the condition, by the way, folks. No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity, no more insulin resistance. And I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Who can tell me, folks, what happens when you eat carbohydrates? We talked about the carbohydrates and all that stuff. What happens when you eat carbohydrates, folks? You can tell me. Anybody know? What happens to your blood sugar? Let me ask that. What happens to your blood sugar when you eat carbohydrates? Does it stay the same? Does it things like rice, pasta, like the stuff y'all were naming out, rice, the pasta, what else? The sweet potatoes, you know what I mean? What happens to your blood sugar at that point? Does it? Here we go. Turns into sugar. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then turns into sugar. So then what happens to your blood? Okay. Yeah, it spikes. Glucose spikes. It will spike. Blood sugar spikes. Elevated turns into sugar. Spikes. Yeah, that's it. It turns into sugar. Spikes. You're right. So here's insulin resistance, folks. We're going to put this thing to bed. Today, we're putting it to bed, insulin resistance. And shout out to you for joining that challenge. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Like I said, check your email, check your text, January 15th, and then log in, and then January 15th is the day that I turned my life around. January 15th, 2026. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Your life never be the same again. Insulin resistance, what is it? You eat food, it turns into glucose, like someone was said. You eat the carbs, you eat the rice, it turns into glucose in your bloodstream, blood sugar. So imagine that this is a string of spaghetti. Imagine this is a string of spaghetti, and this whole string of spaghetti, you want to know what that is? That's all glucose. That's what it is. It's sugar. So when it gets into your body, that whole string of this is say you eat a whole bunch of spaghetti, and all that spaghetti is going to get in your stomach, and it's just going to start getting separated into its individual particles, and it's going to turn into sugar in your bloodstream. Glucose. That's energy. You want energy. But here's the thing. Your pancreas will kick into high gear, and it says, I noticed that there's some blood sugar in my bloodstream. There's a lot of it in the bloodstream, so I need to do something with it. This is the pancreas's job. So the pancreas sends out little soldiers, and these little soldiers are called insulin. Here's little soldiers right here, insulin. So what is the job of the little soldier, aka insulin? Well, insulin's job is to take the glucose from the energy or from the food that you just ate and put it into the cells. That's the job of it, right? It's a very, very important job to put it into the cells. Why does it need to go into the cells? Well, you need to move, right? You need to have energy. So when you move and you have energy and you do all of that stuff, that's all due to glucose, insulin, and all that little connection to give you energy. That's what it is. So here's what diabetes is, folks. Well, let me say that. That's what's supposed to happen. So this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to eat food. It's supposed to turn into glucose because everything you eat pretty much turns into glucose. So then your pancreas says, okay, there's too much blood sugar in the bloodstream, so I need to put that energy into the cells. And then you move your body and then you go about your day. That's it. But here's where the problems start. Well, the problems start when your cells start to resist the insulin. There's little receptors right here on the outside of the cells. There's little receptors. And insulin will come and it'll attach to one of these receptors. That's what it does. It attaches to it. And it tells the cell to open. Open up, cell, like the muscle cells, open up. We got some energy coming in, like, we got some energy coming in. We need to put it in. But the cells, they start to resist. The cells start to resist. But the question is, why the hell are the cells resisting? That's the question. So here it is. Your cells are resisting, number one, is because insulin has come around too much. It's come around way too much, like the frequency of it. Like you've been eating a lot of junk food. If you've been eating a lot of crap, as I call it, carbonated junk, refined sugar, you wake up in the morning, you eat some Cheerios and all of that, and wash it down with a Mountain Dew, you know, coffee with all the sugar, and then the pancakes, and then the whole you stop by Dunkin' Donuts on the way to work, and, you know what I mean? You stop by Starbucks on the way to work. You do this every day. That's the frequency of it. Every day you're doing this. So the cells stop listening after a while. And number two, the reason that the cells are resisting is because they're already full. You see, they're already full. They're already full of energy. You see these little dots? This is them being full. They're already full of energy. They're already full of glucose right here. They're already full. So it tells insulin, you can take insulin, you can get yourself out of here because number one, you've come around too much and we ain't listening anymore. And you can take your little buddy glucose with you. You can take your little buddy, you and glucose can get the hell out of here. That's what the cells say. So when that happens, this is when you look at your meter. You ever look at your meter? Put a me in the chat if they've ever looked at their meter and maybe their blood sugar went to maybe they ate something, it was already 150 and they ate something and maybe it went up to 200 and then maybe it went up to 250. Maybe your blood sugar went up to, 300. Maybe it went up to 350. Yeah, me. You want to know what's happening? Why your blood sugar is going up like that? Here's why. It's because your cells saying that we're already full, bro. You can tell insulin and glucose, get the hell on. So it just stays in the bloodstream. It has nowhere else to go. So then what happens? So the pancreas says, oh, really? The pancreas says, we still got blood sugar, a lot of blood sugar in our bloodstream. So I'm going to send out more soldiers. More soldiers, insulin. And then the soldiers start to come out more and more and more. And they say, the soldiers are like, we're going to huff and we're going to puff and we're going to blow the door down of the cell. So the pancreas just keeps on pumping out more and more and more insulin. And then they keep coming down and beating on the cell's door. It's just imagine a whole army of freaking dudes coming through and just taking stuff down. You know what I'm saying? They're deep. So that's what the pancreas and insulin are doing. They're sending out some more soldiers and they're deep. Because they're going to bust the door. They're going to bust the cell's door down. So that can happen. It gets so crazy, folks. It gets so crazy that your pancreas will pump out so much and it can't even keep up with the demand anymore. It'll get so crazy that maybe you've had diabetes for, 8-10 years, maybe somewhere around there. It'll get so crazy with this insulin resistance, folks, that you go to your doctor and you know what they'll do? They'll prescribe you insulin, right? You get prescribed insulin, right? Yeah, I know it. Yeah. The question is, you ever ask yourself, why am I getting prescribed insulin, doc? I'm not a doctor. It's not medical advice, by the way. You ever ask your doctor that, why am I getting prescribed insulin, doc, if I'm already insulin resistant? Because you got to send in more soldiers. That's why you inject to send in more soldiers to try to bust the door of the cell down. So that's what's happening with that, folks. That's why you become more and more insulin resistant. As time goes by, the cells, they start getting more and more resistant to the insulin as the years go by. You've got to use insulin now. Now what happens is insulin is also a fat storage hormone. Now you're in double trouble. Now you can't lose the weight. You can't lose the weight, folks. Why can't you lose the weight? Well, you can't lose the weight because insulin is a fat storage hormone. It tells your body to store fat. It tells your body to take this glucose and save it for later. That's what insulin does. It tells you to take the glucose. If you can't put it into the cells, take it and save it for later. Save it for later. So you store it as fat. So that's why you can't lose weight. If you've got, if you've got type 2 diabetes, you're insulin resistant, you can't lose the weight because insulin won't let you do it. It's the most impossible thing in the world. You can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like a cat chasing his tail. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to be doing. So anyhow, who can tell me, folks, who gets tired? Who gets hungry? Who gets cravings? You ever get tired? You ever get hungry? You ever get cravings? Anybody ever get tired? Ever get hungry? Ever get cravings? Maybe it's just me. Put a me in the chat. If you ever get tired, let's say you ever get, I don't know, hungry a lot. You just ate, but you're hungry again. Like, who can tell me? Or you get some sugar cravings. You get sugar cravings, right? You start craving some sugar. If you get any of those three, you get tired, you get hungry, or you get cravings, put a me in the chat. Right? Shell put me. Yeah. You want to know the reason that you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings? This is the grand finale right here. This is it. Jot this one down, folks. Here's the reason that you're always tired. Here's the reason that you're always hungry. Here's the reason that you always got cravings. Always. Because here's the answer. Just think of what insulin resistance is. Just think of what type 2 diabetes. Here's what type 2 diabetes is in layman's terms. It is your body's inability to properly process or manage energy. You can't do it. Your body can't do it. You can't properly manage energy. So it would make sense that if you have type 2 diabetes or if you're insulin resistant, it will make sense that you get tired because you can't properly manage energy. So your cells can't get the energy that they need. So if the cells can't get the energy that they need for you to move about, like I'm saying, like, woo, have energy, you gotta put the energy into the cells, but the energy can't get into the cells. So you get tired. Why do you get hungry? Well, you get hungry because when you get hungry, that's your body's way of saying, I need energy. Why are you getting hungry? Because you got too much insulin, which told your body to store the energy, the glucose, as fat, stored for later. We'll use it later. We don't need it right now. We'll use it later. It's called fat. And then lastly, why do you get cravings? Well, I told you what type 2 diabetes is. Type 2 diabetes is your inability to properly manage energy. So if you cannot properly manage energy, what do you think the quickest way, and your body knows, who knows what the quickest way is to get some energy? The quickest way to get energy. Let's just say, hypothetically, hopefully this doesn't happen to anybody, but hypothetically, let's just say your blood sugar goes low and you're like, quick, I need some candy, or I need some juice, or I need some a banana. Give me a banana. Quick, give me apple juice. I was 29 and I was, eat sugar. That's it. Sugar. Eat sugar. That's it. The reason you want to eat sugar is because your body knows that that's the quickest form of energy that you can get. Sugar. So it would only make sense that you crave sugar. Thank you for the gloves. It would only make sense that you crave sugar. Am I right or am I right? I stopped eating white bread, sugar, and lost 22 pounds since the summer. Shout out to you, Rick. It would only make sense. So here's the thing, folks. Here's insulin resistance in a nutshell. And then once you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings, you just repeat the process. So you go get something to eat. You repeat this process. You eat some junky food. It turns into glucose. Your pancreas kicks into high gear. Insulin comes out. Your cells will start to resist because you've come around too much and they're already full. Then insulin says store fat. So when you store fat, you automatically, it's the body's automatically way of saying it's stored already. So we need the next thing. Give me the next meal. Give me the next source of energy. So you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. You repeat the process again because you're hungry. So you go and you get cravings. So you go satisfy that craving. And then it turns into glucose. And then your pancreas kicks into high gear. And then insulin kicks in. And then the cells resist. And then you store fat. And then you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. So then you go eat again. And then you do this every day. And you can imagine why you become insulin resistant, folks. So if this is making sense to y'all, folks, put a health yes in the chat. Health yes in the chat if this is making sense to you on what the hell insulin resistance is. And do you have any questions on what insulin resistance is? Because here's my goal. My goal is by the end of 2026 is to put this whole insulin resistance talk to bed. Like, put it to bed. No, there's no need to talk about what insulin resistance, how do you fix it? None of that stuff. We're going to talk about how to fix it next, but none of that stuff. None of it. Putting it to bed in 2026 because we know what it is. Because that's the thing. I used to be an engineer, folks, and here's the thing that we learned. What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? We already know what it is. How do you fix it? Well, how do you fix it? You start right back here at the root again, the food that you're eating. So what is it? How does it work? Well, we just told you how does it work and how do you fix it when it breaks? That's it. If you can answer those three questions, you can defeat type 2 diabetes. You can defeat insulin resistance. If you can answer those three questions, what is it? How does it work? How do you fix it when it breaks? Health, yes. Thank you. What is, here you go, questions that y'all got. Throw the questions that y'all got. Any questions that you got related to insulin resistance. I know you've had insulin resistance for a while and you got questions, like throw your questions in the chat. Let me see if I got any questions over here on the other side. Let me check my other side, see if I got any questions over here. Okay. Some folks with some comments over here, but no questions. All right, here we go. What is if you're not storing fat? I'm a skinny diabetic. The more I eat, the skinnier I get. You're storing the fat. You're just storing it viscerally. It's called visceral fat. All right. It's called TOFI. You ever heard of TOFI? Thin outside, fat inside. TOFI, not tofu, but TOFI. Thin outside, fat inside. That means your liver. That means your organs, all that stuff. It's all caked in fat, but it's not showing up on the outside. But if they did a whole freaking scan of your body and your organs and all that stuff, you'd see like so much fat. It's deep in there. It's deep. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you're storing it. You just ain't. It's right below the surface. You know what I'm saying? It's there. Just 14 days. Just 14 days. That's it. It's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Just 14 days. I want to take you. We're gonna go inch by inch, right? Inch by inch. 14 days. Is it gonna take 90? Is it gonna take 14 days to reverse type 2 diabetes? No, it ain't gonna take 14 days. It's gonna take a little longer than that. But you gotta start somewhere. So I want to get you a quick win, a very, very quick win. When people join my 14-day challenge, I mean, they get quick wins. When people join this 14-day challenge, they get quick wins. Quick wins. That's why it's 14 days, because we already know what it is. We already know what we got to do. We already know what is it. What is it? How does it work? We already told you what is it? How does it work? And then how do you fix it when it breaks? Well, in this case, it's the food. That's why I created this 14-day challenge. It's a system. It's a system over 400 people have done. You got high blood pressure. If you got blood pressure, yeah, because that's insulin resistance. High blood sugar, type 2 diabetes, any form of insulin resistance, PCOS, gestational diabetes, any of that. Yeah, any of that. How about just telling us what to do, short and simple? Well, short and simple is like this. Short and simple. Your next steps are simple, and it's to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally, right? It's simple. Your next steps are simple. Just to join the 14-day challenge line and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally, right? It's linked in my bio. Show you where all the goodies are, folks. Got you. Yep. Is it insulin resistant when you crave salty foods as well? Well, it's cravings in general. It could be. It could be, right? It could be, right? People, everybody's palate's a little bit different, but typically it's the sweets. But yeah, quite possibly. I lost 100 pounds and the doctor told me I was a thin, fat person. Yes, TOFI. Thin outside, fat inside. My blood sugar was 500 plus. Yes. Sounds like exactly what you have had TOFI. Thin outside, fat inside. They did a whole scan of your body, the organs and all that stuff. Even though it ain't showing up on the outside like most people, yours are showing up deep in your organs. And let me tell you, Misty, visceral fat and not subcutaneous, ectopic fat, the fat that's inside of your muscles, the fat that's inside of your intramuscular myelin lipids, like fat inside of your muscles, fat inside of your liver, fat inside of your pancreas, and then it leads up to your heart, and then it goes down to your small intestines, like fat everywhere. But on the outside, you're super, super thin. Very, very dangerous though. What are your thoughts on being prescribed Ozempic? Is it actually good? I'm not the doctor. I can't tell you to get on or get off of your medication. But what I can tell you is it's going to be this, Fred, that it should always be, and I mean always, be your lifestyle first, medication second. If you cannot fix it with your diet and lifestyle first, okay, then we can talk about the medication. But you want to know something more powerful than something in the bottom of a pill bottle or an injection? Again, I'm not a doctor. Want to know something more powerful than that? Black beans, black beans, navy beans, red beans, the resistant starches. These are more powerful than Ozempic. All right, these are natural. I'll put my 14-day challenge up against anything. We're just doing real food. I will put my real food challenge up against any medication that there is, and I promise you, whether it be Ozempic as well. And I promise you, this is you might think this is an arrogant statement to say, Kelley, or like an over-the-top statement to say, but I will put my 14-day challenge up against anything, and I guarantee we'll win. Guarantee. We'll bet the whole house on black. We'll bet. If I were in a casino and they said, Kelley, we need you to put your 14-day challenge up against any of this man-made medication, you've got one roll. What is it? I would say put everything on the 14-day challenge. Spin it. And when it hits, which it will, we're going to win. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Ozempic. Regular black beans? Yeah, regular black. So, black beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, garbanzo beans, chickpeas, lima beans, you know what I mean? These kind of beans. Pinto beans. These kind of beans, folks. I'm joining. Yeah, you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You use the discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge, which a couple of people have already done this morning. So shout out to them for joining that challenge. Is the eating pattern important to insulin resistance for lifestyle changes? Yes, the eating order is very, very important. That is what I created in the 14-day challenge, right? The eating order. So it's the foods what foods are we eating? Thank you for asking that question. And then I'm going to show you what all the stuff is. In the challenge, we're eating vegetables, nuts, and seeds, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, beans, and then leaner sources of protein, like so whether it be chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh. This is the same stuff you're already eating. I'm just going to change the order in what you're eating. The order, folks, is when it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes, if you understand the order, man, type 2 diabetes, it doesn't really have a chance. Not only are you eating the right foods, but you're eating the right foods in the right way. Insulin resistance doesn't stand a shot. You feel what I'm saying? Doesn't stand a shot. Nobody likes lima beans. Well, hey, there's all different types of beans, right? Pinto beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, black beans, red beans, you name it. There's all kinds of beans. You don't got to do lima beans. There's options. That's the key word, options. Are those beans good for you? No, they're great. They're phenomenal for you. They're superfood. When it comes to insulin resistance, beans are a freaking superfood. Okay? They're superfood. Rebecca, yep, laugh out loud. Okay, shout out to you, Rebecca. Thank you. Her is fenugreek food lower glucose. Is fenugreek food to lower food? I don't know what that one is. So, what's the right order? Number one, vegetables, non-starchy veggies first, fats and protein second, carbohydrates and fruits last. That's the order. The order in which you eat your food. That's it. You master that order right there. Whew, amazing. What to document? I forgot. It's easy. The document was this. I said a bold statement. I said that I will put my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge up against any man-made medication that there is, because that's man-made stuff. That's not real. My 14-day challenge is the real food. You see this? You see that? What it says right there? Powered, keyword. I specifically did this when I designed this. Powered by real food. Powered. Powered. I'll put real food up against anything. It's the same way I reverse my type 2 diabetes and heart disease and obesity. I'll put it up against anything. I'll bet the whole house on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to get off your medicine and get on your medicine. But what I am telling you is there is a better choice. There is a different choice. There is another option. And it's the natural way. What about beans and brown rice? Beans are great, but the brown rice, you can do them to rice. But here's the thing. If you've got insulin resistance, you do not do those together. No, so you don't do beans and rice together. If you have insulin resistance, you don't do those together, right? No beans and rice together. So we ain't going to Popeyes, folks, and getting the red beans and rice. No. No. Can we do beans and cornbread made with wheat flour? No, you cannot. Stay away from the cornbread as much as you possibly can. You don't need the cornbread. I know it tastes good, you know what I mean? But you can eat food without cornbread. I promise you, you can. Join my 14-day challenge. I'm going to show you how to eat food without cornbread. You ain't going to miss the cornbread because you're going to be feeling so good. Because here's the thing. Nothing tastes as good as how being healthy feels. You feel me? How do we get out of the pre-diabetic state? Well, you got, number one, cut the crap. Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, and processed foods, that's crap, and replace it with real, whole, unprocessed foods, majority. That's step number one. I worked with fertility dietitian, and she has me on insulin-resistant food pattern diet. Yep. Shout out to your dietitian. I have a good food allergies like eggs. I have food allergies like eggs, like bananas, etc. Will challenge have alternative list? The challenge has so many different options. So whatever diet you eat, there's something for you on there, right? There's something for you. It's a variety of stuff. So you just got to go into with the recipes and all that stuff. If you look at it, it's all there, right? But there's that first recipe in the 14-day challenge. Woo! That recipe is. But there's a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of alternatives. Oh my God, I love the red beans and rice. You rebuked me. Yeah, Tori. Yeah. Nothing is more delicious than a living healthy life. Yeah, exactly. The HATS step 2. I had step 2. What do you mean you had step 2? What do you mean? HATS step 2. I don't know what you mean, HATS step 2. Okay, thank you. You're quite welcome. Let me show you where all the goodies are, folks. Let me show y'all where all the goodies are. So if you click right here, and then you click on my picture again. Oh, what's step 2? Step 2 is to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. That's step number 2. That's step number 2. So where do you get that? So if it's here, you click on my picture again. You click here, click on my picture again. Here's this. You see that link? It says Linktree. Oops. And it's the same thing on my other socials as well, right? On my other socials, if you click that link in my description, it is going to take you to my page. And it will come up to a link just like this. You see this link? You see this? Here's where all the goodies are, folks. What's on it? The Ultimate Veggie Guide, absolutely free right here. It's the Ultimate Veggie Guide. If you ever wondered, hey, well, what veggies am I supposed to be eating, man? Like, you named out a bunch of veggies, but I don't know which ones I'm supposed to be eating. I don't know. This ultimate, like people asking about the beans, I got the bean cheat sheet coming real soon. Be on the lookout for that. But right now, I got the Ultimate Veggie Guide. Download it now. Go take it with you. What's covered? All the goodies. All the goodies are there. That's absolutely free, folks. This link is like Disney World. There's a PDF on here. There's a master class, but here's the big one right here. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is right here. This one says for my folks who are ready for serious change. If you are ready for serious change, then this 14-day challenge is for you. If you're ready to put insulin resistance to bed, I already told you what it was and how you fix it is the food. If you're ready to put it to bed in 2026, finally, like put it to bed, this 14-day challenge is calling your name. It says, what can you expect? Well, you can expect for me to take you out. You expect me to take you to a place that you've never been before. You got it to get what you want. I got to take you a little bit outside of your comfort zone. When changing the order of the food, it might be a little bit uncomfortable because, you know what I mean, you normally just eating the food how you want to eat it. But I'm going to show you how to eat it the right way. That's what you can expect. So you're going to get taken outside of your comfort zone, but you're going to like it. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. That's Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. But here it is. If you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, that's it. Over 400 people have joined this 14-day challenge. Over 400 people. If you are ready to join this challenge, if you're ready to change your life forever, it's normally $99 to join this challenge. But if you use the live discount code Progress is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. It's $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, which a few people have done this morning. So shout out to you for joining that challenge. Because here's the thing, your life, I'm telling you, your life is never going to be the same. we putting insulin resistance to bed in 2026. Now it's for everybody. The challenge is for everybody, but it's not for everybody, if that makes sense. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Shout out to you for joining that challenge. Somebody just joined the challenge. So shout out to you. Check your email, check your text messages. I got you. It's there. But the challenge is not for everybody. It's only for those 10% of people. There's about, in the world, out of all the people who have type 2 diabetes, in America, I'll say, it's about 100 million people that are either pre-diabetic or a diabetic, type 2 diabetic. A third of the population is either pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes. But there's other millions who haven't even been diagnosed yet. These are just the people who have been diagnosed. We putting that to bed in 2026, folks. 2026 with this 14-day challenge for those 10% of people who are very, very serious about reversing this condition. You join this 14-day challenge. Tell me, we're at the casino. And they said, put it all on the 14-day challenge. Put it all on black up against all of these other ones. Put it all up against it. And they roll that dice, or they do the roulette wheel. We're gonna come out on top. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come out with the football. You ever watch a football game when they pout and somebody, it's a fumble, and everybody goes in and they just start digging and all that stuff, and then there's that one guy at the end of the pile who comes up. He's got the ball in his hand, and he's got the ball. Like, yeah. It's gonna come out on top. 14-day challenge, I promise you. You want to join that challenge? Use the discount code Progress. Coach Kelley, is a purple sweet potato bad? I eat them a lot. They are if you eat them by themselves, but you If you're not eating it the right way, yeah, it's gonna be not great for you. You got purple potato or not. So you got purple potato, you got the yellow potatoes, you got the white potatoes, you got the red potatoes, you got all different types of potatoes. Doesn't really matter. It could be a sweet potato. Doesn't really matter the potato. Just don't eat the potato by itself. Don't eat the potato on an empty stomach. You feel what I'm saying, folks? Don't eat it by itself. All right, any other questions? Any other questions on like where to get the ultimate veggie guide? The ultimate veggie guide is absolutely free, folks. Go grab it. Grab the ultimate veggie guide. But for my folks who, and then there's a lot of other freebies as well. Take the quiz, take the master class, a whole bunch of other freebies as well. But the challenge is the only one that I got to charge you for, but folks, because it's real people getting real results in 14 days, and I want you to take it seriously. So if I just give it to you, folks, and it starts getting, maybe I'm getting you out of your comfort zone too much, and you're like, yeah, this thing was free anyway, so why not just stop? You know what I mean? Why not just stop? But when people pay, they pay attention. When people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. But when people pay little, they pay little attention. These are the cold hard facts, folks. That's the only reason that I got to charge you for the challenge, because I want you to take yourself seriously. Okay, appreciate that, $8. Any other questions? No questions. All right, if there's no questions, we're gonna go into the next topic. We're gonna go into the next topic, folks, which is A1C. That's the next topic. So what happens when you become insulin resistant? Well, the next thing is, well, your A1C starts to rise. Put folks, put the word A1C in the chat if you've ever wondered what an A1C was. If you ever wonder what an A1C was or what it is, or put A1C in the chat, folks. Throw it in the chat, folks. A1C. We're going to shift gears and we're going to find out, well, what happens when you become insulin resistant? Like, what are some of the downstream effects of insulin resistance? The downstream effects. You feel what I'm saying? Here we go. A1C, throw it in the chat. Hemoglobin, there it is. Hemoglobin. A1C. That's what it is, folks. Let's break down this word. Who's ever gone to the doctor and they've gotten their hemoglobin A1C tested before, or let's just say or maybe their doctor said that they've got low iron, you know what I mean? Maybe they're anemic. Who's ever gone to the doctor and experienced that? I just entered the challenge. I'm ready to get off of the merry-go-round. Shout out to you, Tia. If you just joined the challenge. If you just joined the challenge, Tia, shout out to you. You ready to get off of that merry-go-round, and we got you. I got you. Shout out to you. But hemoglobin, the word hemo means iron and oxygen. Iron and oxygen, rich blood. The word globin is protein. So iron and oxygen rich blood, protein being carried through every cell of your body. That's what hemoglobin is. Another way of saying it is, low iron. Another way of saying it is, the reason when people get low iron, you get out of breath. You ever notice that if you got low iron, you get out of breath, right? You can't even like walk up a stairs like, whoo! I just walked up one flight of stairs and I'm so tired. Woo! You ever wondered that? Well, it's because hemoglobin is literally the oxygen that you breathe, because you don't have enough hemoglobin. You don't have enough oxygen-rich blood cells. How do you join? You click that link in my bio. So click here, click on my picture again, click that link in my bio, and use that discount code PROGRESS. That's how you join. But hemoglobin is the oxygen that you breathe. It's very, very important stuff. I don't know about you folks, but I think oxygen is very, very important. That's what hemoglobin is, oxygen-rich red blood cells, okay? A1C is how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin. All right, folks are asking, how do you join the challenge? And then we're going to get back to hemoglobin A1C. I'm going to show you real quick. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again, it's going to take you right here. See that link? Boom. Click on that link. There it is. It's all the goodies right here. 14-day challenge right here. Then you use that discount code. Progress. Progress is a discount code to join the challenge. Okay, at 20% off. Okay, back to hemoglobin A1C. So the A1C is how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin. Like, well, what do you mean by sugar? Well, I mean that sticky stuff. I mean this stuff. This sticky stuff right here, this is sugar. Sugar. That sticky stuff, you know, you get it on your finger, it's stuck to all of your hemoglobin. Every cell of your body is coated with this stuff. Sugar. It's sticky. It's stuck. So that doesn't sound like a good thing. But here's what's happening when it gets stuck. It gets glycated. Your cells get glycated. We talked about the cells earlier, but your cells get glycated. That means they start rusting. They start getting oxidative stress. And they start looking a lot older. They age a lot faster than what they should. So what does that mean? What do you mean it ages a lot faster than what it should? Well, you get older quicker. If you get older quicker, your organs start getting older quicker because of all the sugar that's caked on your pancreas, all the sugar that's caked onto your kidneys and to your heart and to your lungs and to all of that sugar into your eyes, your toes. I mean, the sugar is everywhere. So what happens? We age a lot quicker. We check out of here a lot faster than what we like due to this number right here. Okay, it's a percent, folks. This is what hemoglobin A1C is. It is a percent of sugar. Do me a favor, folks. If you're comfortable with it, put your A1C in the chat. Put your A1C in the chat if you're comfortable with it. Mine got to a 6.5. I'm going to show you where mine got to. Mine got to a 6.5. When I was right here, folks, put your A1C in the chat. 11. There it is. There it is. There got some folks. Put your A1C in the chat. Over here, folks, as well. Put your A1C in the chat if you're comfortable with it. Here it is. 11, 7.2, 6.1, 11.7, 5.7, 11. This is mine got to a 6.5, folks. That's all I let it get to. I let it get to a 6.5, and now it's it. 6.5, and now it's it, folks. 6.5, that's it. I ain't let it get any higher than that. That's when I said enough was enough, damn it. Enough is enough. Is it true that diabetes is mostly hereditary and can skip a generation? That is not. It is. We'll talk about that. I'll answer that question. Thank you for asking that. Save that question. But mine got to a 6.5. Okay. Those numbers that y'all are calling out, folks, are a percent. Who can tell me what happens when your A1C is a 5.7 to a 6.4? What does that mean when you get that diagnosis? 5.7, 6.4. Who can tell me what that means when you get that diagnosis? Is that what does that mean when the doctor tells you that? If the doctor even tells you that. A lot of times the doctor, when your A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4, a lot of the time your doctor probably won't even tell you. Just like he ain't tell me. How do I know this? Because my doctor didn't tell me. Yep, somebody said diabetic, pre-diabetic, pre type 2, discount code is progress. Wow, yep, pre-diabetes, borderline diabetes. That's it, pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes. Now, what does that mean? That's a better question. What the hell does pre-diabetes mean? That doesn't really mean anything to anybody. Okay, who can tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? If you know what the most important hormone is in the body, you didn't know that you were going to be coming in class today, did you, folks? Put a new in the chat as well, folks. If you're new to me, put new in the chat. Put new in the chat, and then or you can tell me where you're from, put your new in the chat, or you can tell me what is the most important hormone in the whole body. Is it glucagon? Is it estrogen, testosterone, insulin, serotonin, dopamine? Which one is the most important? All right, New, North Carolina, shout out to you. New straight out of Maryland, my old stomping grounds. And shout out to you for joining the challenge. Shout out to you for joining the challenge. Oklahoma, insulin, New from Florida, right? I'm from Florida originally. Shout out to Florida. Insulin, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, that's it, folks. Insulin. Insulin is the most important hormone in the body. How do I know this? Because if you ask a type 1 diabetic, how long can they go without their insulin? And the answer is going to be not for very long. You ever wonder why someone who has type 1 diabetes has to prescribe insulin for the rest of their life? And they're insulin dependent? Well, they're insulin dependent because they depend on insulin to survive. That's why it's called insulin dependent. Keyword, right? Keyword, insulin dependent. You depend on it. Depend on it for what? Well, to survive. Because if you do not have it, you will not survive. Like there's a lot of important hormones in the body, cortisol, you know what I mean? Estrogen, testosterone, like these are important hormones. But the most important hormone is insulin, because had you do not have it, you will not survive. You can survive without those other hormones. Your quality of life's gonna suck. Let me say that. Quality of life's gonna suck if you don't have some of those other hormones, but you'll still be alive. But if you don't have insulin, you won't be alive. So prediabetes means that you are becoming resistant to the insulin already, the most important hormone in the body. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. It means you're already resistant to insulin. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. It's already started. It ain't super bad yet. Okay, let's up the stakes a little bit. Well, what happens when your A1C is a 6.5 or higher? I said that pre-diabetes, right? Insulin resistant to the most important hormone in the body. I don't know about you, but that cannot be a good thing. Cannot be. If you're resistant to the most important hormone in the body. Okay, folks. Who can tell me, this is the big one. We're upping the stakes now. Your A1C get to a 6.5 like mine did. Someone said there's an 80.5. I'm not new, but I joined the challenge. Shout out to you, Shauna, joining that challenge. Your A1C got to a 6.5 or higher. It starts getting into the 7. Like mine got to a 6.5. It starts getting into the 8, 8.9, like Mel said right here. What does that mean? Confirmed diabetic, someone says. Yes, type 2 diabetes, that's it. You confirmed. Yep, that's it. So when they confirm it, guess what happens? Let me get my pen over here. Diabetes. Boom. Okay, but that still doesn't mean anything. What does it mean to be a diabetic? Doesn't really mean anything. Well, here's what it means to be a diabetic. It means that you're insulin resistant, which means that if you're insulin resistant, it means that your energy is thrown off. Because that's what type 2 diabetes is, folks. Your energy sources are like thrown off. Like your body can't get the right energy, and like the balance of energy is like freaking terrible. You can't get the energy. So the higher the percentages of that, which means you're more insulin resistant, the more insulin resistance you get, the higher the percentage of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin. The higher the percent of sugar, those numbers that y'all are calling out, 8.9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 11, the higher the percent, the more sugar that you have stuck to your hemoglobin, coating your hemoglobin. Now, I don't know if I'm going to tell you how to join the challenge, but I don't know if you know what that means, folks. The more sugar that you have stuck to your hemoglobin, I'm not just talking about for like a short period of time. I'm talking about for freaking years. You've had this hemoglobin, you've had this stuck to your hemoglobin for years. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Your A1C's been like at an 8, a 9, a 10, 11, a 12. Comes back down to maybe a 7.9. You know what I'm saying? That's all that sugar on your hemoglobin. It's damaging your organs. It's damaging all of your cells. It's oxidizing them. It's causing them to rust, which ultimately leads to you checking out of here. You know what I mean by check out? Like 15, 20, 30 years too soon. Because you got to think about it. What the hell is hemoglobin? Okay. We did a little test earlier. Remember, we said oxygen-rich blood. Hemoglobin is so important. See how long you can hold your breath. See how long you can hold your breath. Who can tell me how long can the average person hold their breath? How can it be lowered? Well, through the foods that you're eating. Foods that you're eating. That's why. I'm going to tell you that in a second. But that's what hemoglobin is, folks. It is the oxygen that you breathe. You cannot go a long time. I'm a mortician. I know what it means to check out. Yeah. Yeah, you're a mortician. You know what it means when you see when people check out. Probably seen a lot of people who have checked out due to complications of type 2 diabetes. And then you check their age and then how old are they? Damn, 55? Due to complications of diabetes. My sister passed away 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, my older sister, 2.5 years ago, due to complications of, you guessed it, type 2 diabetes. In her sleep 2 years ago, right? Due to too much hemoglobin being stuck to too much sugar being stuck to my sister's hemoglobin for many, many years. She had diabetes for like 20 years, since she was like in her 30s. And she passed away at the age of 55 due to complications of type 2 diabetes. You see what I'm saying, folks? You can't play around with this number. You can't play around with a hemoglobin A1C number. Just think that it's just a number like, oh, my number's at an 11. I'm fine. No, here's where you want it ideally. You want it 4.9, 5.3. That's a good area, folks. That's ideally where you want your A1C. Between 4.9 and 5.3. Give or take, right? This is somewhere around a good normal range. It's a good normal range. You're 4.9, 5.3, you're good. Thank you, Reginald. You're good. You get your A1C there, man. You know what you just did? You know what you just did? When you get your A1C to 4, from a, let's just say if it was at an 11, and you get it to like let's say you get it to 5.3. We're going to say on the lower range. You get it to a 5.3. You just cut your A1C in half. You want to know what you just did? You know how many years you just added back to your life? You want to know what the quality of life you just added? Not only did you add years back to your life, but how many years? Decades. Decades. You know what you can do in decades? I told you my sister passed away at the age of 55 years old. She should at least lived until she was like at least 75, 85. You know what I mean? Another 2-3 decades. You get your A1C down to a respectable range. You add years back to your life. Years. My mom passed away from diabetes. Shout out to you, Landon. Sorry to hear that. Is there a difference between type 1 and type 2? Yes, there is. There's a big difference. Type 1s are insulin dependent, like we talked about earlier. Type 1s are insulin dependent, meaning that their body doesn't produce insulin anymore. Their pancreas has shut down the factory when it comes to producing insulin. Like the beta cells are done. They're done. So you can't produce insulin. It's the most important hormone in the body, so you have to manually inject it because you need it to survive. That's type 1. It's an autoimmune condition. Nothing you can do about it except for manage it, as people say. You can manage it, yeah. But when it comes to type 2 diabetes, you can do more than just manage it because it is a lifestyle disease. It's caused by your lifestyle, caused by the foods that you're eating, how you're moving, how you're not moving your body, how you're not managing your stress, how you're not getting the proper sleep, how you're drinking too much alcohol. That's what type 2 diabetes comes from, aka your lifestyle. So type 1, you can't get rid of. You can manage it. Type 2, not only can you do more than just manage it, you can freaking reverse the thing, just like how I did. 95% of type 2 diabetics can reverse it. Is oatmeal good for diabetics? No, it is not. Not for diabetics. It is not great for diabetes. Mine, especially not in the morning. Mine is 5.3. Shout out to you. How do I get it to a 5.0? Number one, what you eat. What you eat. You got to cut the crap. Okay? Come on, you got to cut the crap. Carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods. That's step number one. Step number two is to replace it with the real food, the whole unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains and legumes, beans, and then leaner sources of protein, right? Chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, right? Steak, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. These are leaner sources of protein, right? Whole foods. You do that, you eat that mostly. Type 2 diabetes will be a thing of your past because that's predominantly what it is. It's the food that you're eating. You hang out with me in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I'm going to show you that in 14 days. I'm going to let your body prove it to you. I'm not going to prove it to you. I'm going to let your body prove it to you. That in 14 days, your body's been trying to heal all these years. You just haven't given it what it needed. You have a deficiency, and you don't have a deficiency in metformin. You don't have a deficiency in glyphosate. You don't have a deficiency in Ozempic. Here's what you have a deficiency in: eating real, whole, unprocessed foods, mostly. That's what you have a deficiency in. And if you fix that deficiency, type 2 diabetes will cease to exist in your life. All right, folks are asking, how do you join the challenge? Let me get to the challenge right here. So if you click here, click on my picture again. Here's where the challenge is, folks. Here's where it is. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. For my folks who are ready for serious change. So if you click there, follow me, click here, see me right here, boom, tap me, and then tap on my face again. It's like either right here or maybe right here, somewhere. Tap on my face. And then it's going to take you to here. You can probably still hear me talking. Here it is right here. You click right there, that link, and it's going to take you up to all the goodies. Here's the goodies, folks. There's the ultimate veggie guide right there. You want to get the ultimate veggie guide, go get that. It's absolutely free. We talked about those veggies. Like, what veggies are you talking about? The ultimate veggie guide. Go grab it. Absolutely free. Download it, folks. Download it. But this is the big one right here. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is the only one that I got to charge you for, because like I told you before, there's real people getting real results in 14 days. We betting the house on black on the 14-day challenge. Okay? We betting the house because here's the thing. You want to know what does it say right here? What does it say? Powered by real food. That's what it's powered by. That's the root of it. Because that's what you do to defeat type 2 diabetes. You power your lifestyle with real food, and you will kick diabetes in the ass. You kick it in the ass. 14-day challenge. It is a nutrition blueprint designed by me for folks who are ready to take control of their blood sugar. If you are ready to take control of your blood sugar, 14 days is all we need for you to start taking control. Is it going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days? No, not in 14 days. Need at least 3 months, like we talked about, right? At least 3 months. But in 14 days, you're going to put a whole big dent in the whole thing. A dent. It's normally $99, but if you use the discount code Progress is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. It's $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you use that discount code, Progress. Yeah, that's it. Let me see here. Mine is at 11. Need help? Yeah. If Texas best epoxy, if your A1C, the percent of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin, is at an 11.1%, your next steps are simple, and it is to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. Let's see here. All right. Any questions on? Is this making sense to y'all, folks? On what a hemoglobin A1C is? This is making sense to you, folks. Put a health yes in the chat if it's making sense to you on what the whole like. I'm gonna tell you what to eat next, but the whole thing between like insulin resistance and an A1C, like what's the connection? Well, those 2 segments that I just gave y'all. That's the connection. That's the connection, folks. Is it true that diabetes? Yeah, I want to answer that one. Is it true that diabetes mostly hereditary, and can it skip a generation? Here's what's hereditary, folks. Our lifestyle is hereditary. Here's the thing. I want you to remember this statement. Genetics will set the stage, but it's your lifestyle that will steal the show. Imagine you're like a big Broadway show, you know what I mean? And you're in New York and the Broadway show is out, and genetics comes out and they set the stage and they get everybody all warmed up and all that stuff. But there's this one person that comes out and they just freaking steal the damn show. You just like, yo, who the hell was that came out and they just like, they were amazing. They stole the show. You want to know who that is? It's called lifestyle. It stole the show in your life. So if your parents are eating, if you're eating the same, if diabetes runs in your family, if you're eating the same stuff that your parents eat, if you eat the same stuff that they eat, everybody's eating the same stuff and living the same lifestyle, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, the chances of you getting type 2 diabetes are greatly increased because it runs in your family. To set the stage, genetics sets the stage. You can't do anything about your genetics, or you're born into what you're born into. You're born in, you can't change your family. You're born into your family. You can't change your family heritage. It is what it is. So you can't change your genes, but you can change the way that your genes express themselves based on the foods that you're eating, how you're managing your stress, how you're moving your body or not moving your body, and how you're sleeping. And if you're drinking a lot of alcohol or not. That's how you can tell. That's how you change the whole dynamic of your family. So remember the saying, and then I'm going to get back to the questions. Diabetes ran in my family until it ran into me. Jot that one down. Diabetes ran in my family until it ran into me. Vegetarian beans, okay. Yeah, you can do some vegetarian beans. Thank you, sir. You're quite welcome. I was pre-diabetes. Once I got put on Pendazole, I became a diabetic. Yeah, that's another way, right? That's another way, right? I don't know what Pendazole is, but I'm assuming there's medications, there's steroids that's another way. Barring anything like that, and I'm sorry that happened to you. Yes, steroids can cause insulin resistance. It's a contributor. It's a very, very big contributor. But you can still do something about it, though. You can still change your lifestyle, and you can still beat it. You can still beat the insulin resistance. Psyllium cinnamon and lower your A1C. It's a big game changer. I mean, it helps. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't gonna be like you just drink cinnamon. You just do the Ceylon, how you say it, Ceylon cinnamon, and then you can just eat McDonald's all day and go to Burger King and Wendy's and you know what I mean, Chick-fil-A. The cinnamon ain't gonna do jack. It ain't gonna be no game changer at that point. It all stems back to what you're eating. Why my feet burning and my sugar is 4.5? I'm a year now diabetes, because the tingling is the once the nerves start getting damaged, that's the last thing that comes back online, right? It could take years, right, for the neuropathy and the tingling and all that stuff go away because you damaged your nerves. You damaged your nerves, so it takes a while for them to come back. I mean, it depends on how much you damaged them. Vegetarian bone. Is there a discount code? Yes, the discount code is Progress. Progress is the discount code. User 935 to join the 14-day challenge. That's it. Do you exercise? You damn right. You damn right I exercise. Right? Because you got to maintain your pace. Having a peaceful mind, that's stress management. Activity. Yes, activity. Yes, exercise. Clean eating, effective sleep. It's a formula. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. Maintain your pace. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. Those 4 areas right there. That's how you kick type 2 diabetes in the ass. You master those areas, right? Which is, I teach you how to master those areas after the challenge. It's called Beyond the Challenge. You get through the 2-week challenge, folks. You get through the 2-week challenge. And then you go beyond the challenge. That's how you get the opportunity to go beyond the challenge. This is where people are like making whole, this is total transformation. You know what I mean? The stories are crazy. People losing 100 pounds, people losing 70 pounds. Someone's going to come on. 2 people are going to come on. They reached out to me. 2 people are going to come on. One lost 100 pounds in 6 months by just implementing all the stuff that I'm telling them. And someone else lost 70 pounds. They've lost 70 pounds since August. Took their A1C from an 8.1 to a 5.3 just by implementing the stuff that I'm saying on these lives. I never even met him before, never even spoke to him. And they send me a DM saying like, hey, I've been listening to you. And then I just did this, what you said. And then next thing you know, I lost 70 pounds. Or next thing you know, I lost 100 pounds in 6 months. I maintained my pace. Crazy work, folks. Do you have to put it on your food every meal? It stops the spikes. Do you have to put what on every meal? Do you have to put what on it? I must have missed the first part, Earl. Do you exercise, or do you have to put it on? Do you have to put it on your food? I don't know what you mean. Talking about exercise, putting exercise on your food? Wouldn't that be nice? I have type 2, 6.5. I lost 15 pounds and don't drink coffee or eat sweets anymore. What else? Well, the next step would be to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, which somebody just did. That would be the next step. The next step would be to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, like somebody just did, and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. You can say 2026, we putting this whole insulin resistance and high A1C, we putting all that stuff to bed. We're putting it to bed. So your next steps are simple. So join that challenge. Use that discount code, PROGRESS. Say the PACE formula again. I can put it up on the board. You know, who wants to hear the PACE formula, folks? It is the lifestyle medicine formula. I can put it up on here on the board, and I can tell you the areas of your life that you need to change, that you need to improve upon for you to defeat type 2 diabetes. Put PACE in the formula. I mean, in the chat, PACE. If you want to know this lifestyle medicine formula, eat more fruits and vegetables and less. Eat more fruits and vegetables and less. Oh yeah, less. Okay, got it. Do you drink coffee? I drink a cup a day and just can't give it up. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I can probably count on two hands how many cups of coffee I've had in my entire life. 2 hands. But here's the thing about coffee. The coffee is not the enemy. It's how you're drinking the coffee is the enemy. It's all, as soon as you wake up in the morning, drinking coffee, putting sugar in it, you got to wait a while, right? I can tell you more about coffee. There's some tricks to the trade. It's how you drink your coffee, but it's not the coffee itself. It's how you're drinking the coffee. PACE. Put PACE in the formula. Oh, wait, put PACE in there. All right, PACE. Y'all want the PACE formula. Okay. Shout out to y'all. Here's the medication that you got to prescribe to yourself. It's your life, folks. I'm going to take it wherever you want to go. You want the PACE formula? I'm going to give it to you. Here it is. Here it is. We got to maintain. Is that how you spell maintain? I think that's how you spell maintain. Maintain your, folks, did I spell maintain right? PACE. That's what you got to do. See, let me see. Someone was asking, how do you get your A1C to a 5.3 or 5, right? Let me say 5.3. Like, that's where we want to go. That's what we want to be. Yeah, I spelled it right. Some electrolytes. Yeah, electrolytes are great, right? Potassium, magnesium, sodium. Yes, all great. Get you some nice electrolyte packets. I got some. But yeah, I spelled it right. Okay, yes, spelling. Okay, cool. Who would love to get their A1C to a 5.3, folks? If that's you, if you'd love to get your A1C to a 5.3, put up me in the chat. If you just wait, if you just say, you know what, man, I think 5.3, that's a nice number. I think I'd like to get my A1C there. Who'd love to do that? Yeah. A lot of people would. Well, to do that, you're going to have to prescribe yourself some medication. Me in the chat. All right. You're going to have to prescribe yourself some medication. Now, here's the thing. No one can prescribe this medication for you. I can't prescribe this for you. Your doctor can't prescribe it to you. Hell, your family can't prescribe you this medication. Nobody can prescribe you this medication except for you. You're the only person that can do it. And here it is. The first part of the lifestyle medicine formula, maintaining your pace, is having a peaceful mind. Ooh, a peaceful mind, folks. That's the P. Stress management is major important because cortisol will set you all the way back. You've got high levels of cortisol, folks. It's going to set you all the way back. You feel what I'm saying? All the way back. Because cortisol is also another fat storage hormone. But ultimately, what it does is it causes you to release adrenaline. You get stressed, you release adrenaline, you release cortisol. That stored blood sugar gets dumped from your liver. Stored blood sugar gets released from your liver into your bloodstream. So where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. You need the blood sugar so that you can fight. So that's why you're stressed out. When you get stressed, you need to be able to get energy. So that's why your body does that. Crazy. It's a response. Release blood sugar. Where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So here's the prescription. Here's the prescription in Peaceful Mind, folks. I want you to master these 3 M's. Here are the 3 M's, folks. They're called meditation, mindfulness, and meet with your therapist. Somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Shout out to you. The 3 M's. Here's a prescription. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Okay? This is the thing that you got to master, folks, to get your A1C to a 5.3. The next thing is having an active body. That's the next thing. This is the one that most people hate the most, having an active body. Because nobody wants to give up their Netflix, right? Nobody wants to give up the remote. How do you join? By clicking that link in my bio right here. Boom, boom. My A1C was 5.3, but I can still benefit from the challenge to help with the insulin resistance diet. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't know about that diet, but I just know my stuff works. Yes, you can. Have an active body. How do you join? How do you join? Click that link here. Click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that link in my description. Use the discount code PROGRESS. Having an active body. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. That's it. That's the prescription. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You're like, well, what's moderate intensive movement? That means that you can run. I mean, you can talk, but you can't sing. If you're on a treadmill and you can talk, but you can't, you can talk, but you shouldn't be able to sing. So it's kind of that little gray area between talking and singing. So if you're out on a walk with your girlfriends and you guys are able to like talk good, but you're not able to sing, that's that pace you want to make. You want to pick up the pace. You feel what I'm saying? Strength training, at least 2 to 3 days a week. 2 to 3 days a week. Strength training. Get in there and get strong. Build your muscles. Build your muscles. The older you get, the more muscles you need. And the more muscles you have, the more insulin sensitive you become. You ever notice that those folks who take all of those injections and all that stuff, they lose muscle? When you lose muscle, and then you stop taking the injection, if they call it, your blood sugar goes back up. I mean, your weight goes back up. The fat comes back up. But the muscle doesn't come back. You feel me? So that's why movement is very, very important. So 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. Okay, here it is. The next part of the lifestyle medicine formula is the most important part of the formula. Clean eating. Ooh, big one. We've been talking about eating the whole time. Like clean eating, that's the big one. That's the big one. Good morning, coach. Doing a great job. Thank you. That's the big one, clean eating. Here's what I want you to remember about eating. If you don't remember anything from this whole live that we talked about, what did we talk about? Insulin resistance earlier. We talked about A1C. Now we're talking about maintaining our pace. Now we're talking about maintaining the pace. Can't log in for the challenge. You got to reset your password. Reset your password. You'll be able to log in. Use that link in that text message to reset your password. You'll be able to log in. So log in, get to work. If you're still not able to log in, send me a DM and I got you. We'll make sure we'll get you logged in. But you go in and reset your password. You should be good to go. All right. Clean eating. Remember this. When the diet is wrong, I mean, it's not sending me an email. You may have put the email address in wrong. I'll go back and double check it. After I finish, we'll go back and we'll double check it. You probably put your email in wrong, but don't worry. I got you. We'll get you right. Send me a DM. We got you. Clean eating. Write this down. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Jot that one down. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Yeah, right? Clean eating, what we talked about earlier. Eat real whole unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and grains and legumes and beans, right? And leaner sources of protein, whether it be chicken, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh. Like, this is the prescription. You eat you eat whole foods. That's what you eat, whole foods. You don't eat the processed foods. Specifically, and the processed food, all that stuff, and especially the processed meats. What are the processed meats? Well, the bacons and the salamis and all of that stuff. The bacons and the salamis and all of that. The pepperonis, the hot dogs, all of that stuff. That's not clean eating, folks. That's not, even turkey sauces, that's not clean eating. Say it again. When the diet is wrong, I'm going to say it again, Revito. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. You know what I'm saying? It's of no need. You don't need it because your diet is correct. And you want to eat real when your diet, because here's the thing, when your diet is correct, here's what happens. The food becomes the medicine and the medicine becomes the food. You know what I'm saying? The food becomes the medicine and the medicine becomes the food. The food is the medicine, the medicine is the food. That's it. Clean eating. We talk more about clean eating, but that's it. That's it in a nutshell. And the last area of the lifestyle medicine formula is this. For you to bring your A1C back to that 5.3, like you want it, for you to bring it back there, guess what's got to happen? You're going to have to prescribe yourself some meds. And effective sleep is one of them. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. Six to 9 hours. Oh, let me hold up. Somebody got my saying wrong. Here it is, Tori. No, you got it. You got it close, but here it is. It's when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Keyword is need. You don't need it. You don't need it. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Need is the key word. But anyway, back to it. Effective sleep. 6 to 9 hours. That's what you want every night of effective sleep. Because if you don't get the sleep, you don't recover. And if you don't recover, you get stressed. And when you get stressed, here's what happens. When you get stressed, it causes you to not have a peaceful mind. You're stressed. So then when you're stressed, what's next? Then you release adrenaline, you release cortisol, then you release stored blood sugar, right, from your liver. Then where where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. It follows it everywhere. It's like annoying little brother. So this is what happens, folks. This is the lifestyle medicine formula. So here it is. I'm gonna sum it all up. For you to get your A1C to a 5.3, you're gonna have to prescribe yourself some meds. I can't prescribe you these meds. The doctor can't prescribe your meds. Your spouse damn sure can't prescribe it to you. And here are the meds. What do you got to do? You got to maintain your pace. What's maintaining my pace? Having a peaceful mind. Stress management. because stress is set you all the way back. The 3 M's, right? Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. That's the prescription. Then the A, you got to have an active body. What is that? Active body, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate and intensive movement. Remember we talked about that? That's the A, very, very important. You want to move your body. The C stands for clean eating, right? Remember when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Remember that? That's clean eating. Eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. And then the last area of the formula is to get the effective sleep, 6 to 9 hours of effective, keyword is effective, sleep. How's your sleep hygiene? You have good sleep hygiene or not? So that's it, folks. That's how you get your A1C to a 5.3. And you just keep doing this one big old circle. You see that? It's a loop. You just keep maintaining it. If anybody asks me, Kelley, hey, how do I lower my A1C? How do I not be insulin resistant anymore? And yeah, I'm just gonna give them the same answer. I'm gonna ask them a question. I'm gonna say, hey, how are you maintaining your pace? How you maintaining your pace? And we'll go through the areas. All right, stress management. I'm like, okay, my stress is okay. All right, cool. Then we'll go to the active body. How active are you? And they'll be like, well, I do watch a lot of Netflix. Or they may say, hey, I'm working out every freaking day. I work out a lot. Then we'll get to the big one. This one right here. Put an asterisk on it. I say, well, how are you eating? That's the big one. How are you eating? And they'll say, well, I eat okay. Yeah, I eat all right. What the hell's okay, all right, man? What's that? We need to get into it. And then lastly, I ask them, well, how are you sleeping? Well, next thing they'll be like, not really sleeping that well. Maybe I had a newborn. Maybe like my job has me working like all crazy hours. Maybe I'm a truck driver and maybe I don't really get, I'm not like on a consistent schedule. I may get like 2 hours here, maybe like 2 hours there. And when you do that, you're not getting effective sleep. That stuff adds up. It causes stress. When you get stressed, your body releases stored blood sugar, and then the cycle just keeps on going, right? So this is how you maintain your pace. This is how you get your A1C to a 5.3, folks. Are there any questions on maintaining your pace, on what the formula is, what you got to do? Any questions on that? Let me see. Any questions? No questions. Hey, good morning. When your blood sugar is 152, that's not a good morning. If you wake up in the morning and your blood sugar is 152, that is not a good morning. What that's called is called the dawn phenomenon. The dawn phenomenon is when your blood sugar is higher in the morning. Why is it blood sugar higher in the morning? It's because you have insulin resistance. Everybody has higher blood sugar in the morning, but the fact that you're insulin resistant, that's a little bit something a little bit different. That's why you have high. That's why your blood sugars should be between 70 and 100. Should never be in the 150s when you wake up in the morning, right? It shouldn't be in the 120s. It shouldn't be in the 100s. Nothing. It should be between 70 and 100. That's where it should be when you wake up every single morning. You're like, cook-a-doodle-doo. You wake up with the roosters, like, well, what's my blood sugar? 85. Great. It's going to be a great day. What's my blood sugar? 90. Okay, it's going to be a great day. What's my blood sugar? 78. It's going to be a great day. That's what you want it, between 70 and 100. Now, you wake up in the morning like, oh, my blood sugar is at 105. We're like, whoa, we got to watch that because that's the pre-diabetic range. You wake up the next day, whoa, it's still it's 105-ish. It's been staying consistently above 100 every single day. Well, that means that you're in the pre-diabetic range if it starts consistently staying over 100. But here's the big one, though. It can go all the way up to 125. But the second it ticks over to 126, you're at 125 pre-diabetic, right? 126, tick, boom, full-fledged diabetes. You're certified diabetic. Is that type 2 diabetic at that point, certified. So anything above 126 consistently. So if you're at 152, that means you're in the diabetic range. Starts getting way higher than that. That means that you start getting really into the danger zone. But how you fix that Maintain your pace. It's the only way you can fix it. You can take medications until your face turns blue, just like this, but it really ain't gonna matter. It really ain't gonna matter. Because when the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. You know what I'm saying? But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Let me show y'all where it is. Somebody was asking, where do you get to the challenge? Here's the challenge, folks. If you need a blueprint on this, on the 14-day challenge, we're just talking about clean eating. We only got 14 days, right? 14 days. We're just gonna focus on the C. In the 14-day challenge, we can't focus on the P. We can't focus on the A. If you're already doing this stuff, great. But we need to focus. So we focus on the C in the clean 14-day challenge. That's what the challenge is about. 14 days, real food, powered by real food for real people who want real results. How do you get there? If you click here, and then you click on my picture again, show you how to get there. Click there, click on my picture again, show you where it is. You got to click on my picture twice, right? Same thing on my other socials. If you click that link in my description, if you click it somewhere in there, click that link in my description, it's going to come up. It'll tell you where to go. You'll see it. You'll see a page that looks just like this. Here's where all the goodies are, folks. Here is the ultimate veggie guide right here. If you ever wonder what veggies am I supposed to be eating, like we named out some foods over here. If you ever wonder what veggies are good veggies to eat as someone who has type 2 diabetes, here is what you want to download. The ultimate veggie guide is absolutely free, folks. There's a masterclass down here where I break down this lifestyle medicine formula again, but it's in a masterclass, and I break each area down. I just go a little bit slower, right? So maintain your pace. You know the formula now. That's it. That's the masterclass right there. It's absolutely free as well. But then this one right here, the 14-day challenge, that one is the big one. That one is for my folks who are ready for serious change. If you are ready for serious change, you've gotten to the point where you said change isn't just desired in 2026. I'm ready to put this thing to bed. 2026, I'm ready to put insulin resistance to bed. I'm ready to put my A1C back to where it's supposed to be, 5.3. I'm ready. If you're ready, which not everybody's ready, and I get it, but if you are ready, this 14-day challenge is calling your name. It's normally $99. This is the only one I got to charge you for. All the other stuff's free. Only one I got to charge you for because I want you to take it seriously. If I give it to you for free, you ain't going to take it seriously because it was free, right? It's just going to sit in your inbox and collect dust. But when people pay, they pay attention. When people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. When people pay little, they pay little attention. So it's normally $99 to join this challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off, $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's it. So your next steps are simple. And it's to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. Because you can reverse type 2 diabetes, folks. 95% of people can. Naturally. I ain't talking about with some GLP-1s and all that. If that works for you, fantastic. But I'm going to tell you, you already know what happens. You stop it, the weight comes back. You stop it and the weight comes back. I was watching, yesterday I watched Oprah. She just came out with a new podcast with Serena Williams talking about the GLP-1s and all that stuff and how they lost all this weight and all of that stuff on it, right? Well, there was one gentleman in the audience. He lost a bunch of weight, but there was one gentleman in the audience, and he raised his hand, and he said, excuse me. He was talking to the doctor. He said, excuse me, how long do I have to take these medications? How long do I have to take this injection to keep the weight off? You want to know what the doctor said? She'd been around the bush and all kinds of stuff. But ultimately, she said that you're going to have to take it for the rest of your life. You're going to have to take it for the rest of your life. He had such hope when he asked the question, but when she said that, and they showed his face, it was just like, he was like so dejected. He was just like, you can see it. He was floored. He was just like, damn, I'm going to take this, damn it. He was hoping that she was going to say, yeah, you can get off of it and you'll be good. She was like, nah, you're going to stay up for the rest of your life. He was looking dejected like a mug. Watch it. You know what I'm saying? It just came out. Let's put it in Oprah and Serena on that GLP-1. And it's like an hour-long podcast. You can do it on YouTube too, or YT. You can do it there too. You watch that and you'll see That dude's face. When she tells him that. Crazy. But here's the thing. When you maintain your pace, instead of having that sad look on your face, all you're doing is just maintaining your pace. This is stuff you do every damn day. You're just doing it the right way. You're just maintaining your pace. You ain't got to worry about the weight coming back. You just keep maintaining your pace. Just like I've been doing. I lost the weight in 2021, folks. Here's when I lost the weight. In 2021. So if you click here, you click on my picture again, they really pushing that GLP-1. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah. Because when you lose the weight, here's the thing with the GLP-1s. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you get on and get off your medication. But what happens is you lose the fat. You lose the fat. When you take a GLP-1, you lose the fat, yeah. But you also lose the muscle. So if you ain't in the gym getting swole, if you ain't got your nutrition right, you're going to lose muscle as well. So you lose fat, you lose muscle. But when people stop taking them, and they say, oh, okay, I'm good. I lost all of the weight. You stop taking it. What happens next? Well, what happens next is you gain it back. You gain it back. But you gain it back minus the muscle. You just gain back the fat. That's all you gain back, the fat. So as a result, now you become more insulin resistant. You become more insulin resistant because you lost the muscle. And muscle, you need muscle to be insulin sensitive. If you don't have muscle, then if nothing but fat comes back, you're going to be very, very insulin resistant. You feel what I'm saying? So if you saw the look on that dude's face when she said you're going to take this for the rest of your life, he was just like, he wasn't feeling it. I could tell he wasn't. But here it is, folks. What was I going to show y'all? I was going to show y'all something. But I don't know. What was I going to show y'all? I think I was going to show y'all where to join the challenge. Click here. Click on my picture again where all the goodies are. Everything's right here, folks. Here's where all the goodies are. There it is. There it is. That's where all the goodies are. The quiz, the masterclass, 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. There's a lot of goodies. There's the ultimate veggie guide. Get your copy of the ultimate veggie guide and the 14-day challenge right here. Real people, real results, 14 days. Use the discount code PROGRESS. Any questions? Any questions on what we talked about today? What we talked about? What is insulin resistance? We talked about that. We talked about what else? An A1C. What the hell is an A1C? And then we're talking about what's the lifestyle medicine formula that you got to do to maintain your pace. We talked about 14-day challenge. Like we talked about a lot of things. Like I told you, I put the 14-day challenge up against anything, and I'll bet the whole house on black. I'll bet the whole house on the 14-day challenge that if I were on that TV show with Oprah and Serena, I'd come in there saying some of the craziest stuff that they never heard of. I'd come on saying some of the craziest stuff. And how they saying like obesity is a disease. That's like the biggest load of crap I ever heard. That obesity is a disease. Check this out. Here's the thing. I was obese. They said that I was obese. I had diabetes and I was obese. I had heart disease. Look at that. So here's the thing. I don't have diabetes anymore. I don't have heart disease anymore. And I'm no longer obese. Right? They said it was a disease. I'm no longer obese. And it's been that way 5 years. You want to know how many GLP-1s I took? All I did was maintain my pace. There are people who send me messages every day. I just posted one. If you go right after this live, go to my stories. After this live, you go to my live or you go to my stories, and you will see a story in there. Someone sent me a DM yesterday how he lost 70 pounds. Check it out. Since August, he lost 70 pounds. His A1C went from an 8.1 to a 5.3. 70 pounds down. No longer diabetes. 5.3. It's been that way. It says it's been holding. It's been 5.3 since November. He lost 70 pounds. Someone else lost 100 pounds in 6 months. They ain't taking the GLP-1s. They just been maintaining their pace, just like I'm recommending. So you tell me that obesity is a disease. Obesity is not a damn disease, folks. That's what we want to tell ourselves. That's what society wants to tell us, so that we can stay comfortable. Nah. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but the only thing that grows there is regret. We keep telling ourselves this. The only reason that we tell ourselves this or give ourselves excuses as obesity is a disease and all that stuff, it's because that's the story we tell ourselves just to stay comfortable. An excuse, that's all it is. It's just the story that we tell ourselves so that we can stay comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So instead of maintaining your pace, you know what I mean? I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just saying, folks, I'm just keeping it real with you. Obesity, don't fall for that trap. Obesity is not a disease. It's not. Is protein drinks good as a meal replacement? Not the ones that from the store, they're not. No, they ain't. Those are scary. Somebody said, yeah, those are scary. I noticed I have yeast infection not going away. That's not really my area of expertise, but if you got insulin resistance and you got a yeast infection, okay, maybe we'll talk about that, but yeast infection, that's not really my thing. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to subscribe to join the 14-day challenge? No, you don't have to subscribe to the challenge to join the 14-day challenge. Here's what you do to join the challenge. You don't have to subscribe at all. You don't even have to follow me. It'd be great if you follow me, but you don't even have to. But here it is. You click here. You click on my picture again, and then we get ready to play another game, folks. Here it is. Here's the challenge right there. Boom. You know where it is. You know where it is. Boom. Right there. 14-day challenge. Right there. Boom. There it is. Okay, folks. We're going to play another little game. We're going to play another game. Thank you for caring. Thank you, Tina, for showing up. Thank you for showing up. We're going to play another game, folks. Here it is. We're going to play a little game of, all right, now that we got this off, everybody good on that? Everybody know what they got to do to beat type 2 diabetes? Everybody knows. Everybody knows what they got to do to defeat type 2 diabetes. Here it is, folks. And how much longer we're going to stay on for? What we got? We'll be on for 47 more minutes. 47 more minutes, folks. So if you want to use that discount code PROGRESS to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, now is the time. We got 47 minutes, and then we're going to be up out of here. But now you're probably wondering, PROGRESS is the discount code. Well, now you're probably wondering, well, Kelley, what the hell do I eat? What do I eat? What specifically do I eat? And what specifically am I not supposed to eat, right? Your fuel source. Over on one side, we're going to put unleaded. We'll put unleaded on one side, and then we'll put diesel fuel on the other. Diesel, D-I-E-S-E-L. Diesel. When you pull up to the gas station, folks, what kind of gas do you put in your car? That's a good question. What kind of gas do you put up in your car when you pull up to that gas station, folks? Do you put diesel fuel in there? Do you put unleaded fuel in there? We're going to determine which kind of gas you put in there. I'm going to put some diesel fuel stuff over here so you'll know what I'm talking about. Candy. Let's just say bacon. Okay. These are not the great things, right? I'm going to put bacon off of there because that's a dead giveaway, right? We'll put cakes. We'll put soda over here on the diesel fuel side, and over here on the unleaded side, we'll put things like eggs. We'll do kale. We'll do broccoli. These are the two sides. So here's the thing, folks. When you pull up to the gas station, what kind of gas do you put into your car? Yes, unleaded. Unleaded, yeah. And your car runs like a champ. But here's the thing. If you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, what the hell's going to happen? Well, your car's going to break down. If you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, folks, you're not even going to make it to the freaking gas station. I mean, you're not even gonna make it to the light when you're leaving the gas station. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So that's the diesel fuel versus unleaded. Beans are gonna go over here on the unleaded side. You put the beans in your, I'm gonna circle the beans because the beans are a superfood, folks. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, folks, beans, superfood. All right, so name out your favorite foods. Even over here, folks. Don't be bashful over here on this side. Put your foods in there. So whatever your foods are, whatever your foods are, put them in the chat. Put your foods in the chat. Whatever the food is that you eat, even that you eat, just name the foods. It could be whatever. You know what I mean? Whether it be junk food or whether it be, whole unprocessed food. It's going to go in a category. So name out your food, folks. Y'all eat, right? So if you eat, what do you eat? Or if you drink something, what do you drink? So start naming out your stuff, folks. Rice and pasta. Here we go. Rice and pasta. It's debatable which side I can put that on, right? But we're talking about for type 2 diabetes specifically. So I'm going to put pasta. And then I'm going to put rice. And then I'm going to put an asterisk on both of those. I'm going to put an asterisk on both of those because when it has an asterisk on it, that means you can eat them in moderation. That means you can eat them in moderation. So you can put that on you can either put the pasta and rice on the unleaded side, but here's the thing. We're talking about for blood sugar. Specifically for blood sugar, pasta and rice are going to go on the diesel fuel side with an asterisk. You can still have it. You got to know how to eat it. Pasta, okay, chicken, what we got? Chicken. Yeah, chicken. Okay. What else? Name your foods. All right, here we go. Potato chips. We got chips over here. Chips is definitely going to be in the diesel fuel side. Leafy greens. Okay. We got leafy greens. Oh, those are definitely unleaded. Leafy greens. There we go. Leafy greens, folks. What else? What else we got? Potato chips, baked potatoes. We got potatoes. We got potato, but we're talking specifically for diabetes. I'm going to put it over here, and the reason I'm going to put it over here is because folks are eating it wrong. Folks are eating their potatoes wrong. There's nothing wrong with the potatoes. This is how we're eating the potatoes. If we've got type 2 diabetes, we've got insulin resistance. We got to know how to eat the potatoes. There's a certain order in which we eat the potatoes. Cookies, we said cookies. We even got that over here. Cookies. It's a good one. Cookies. Diesel fuel, you put that into your unleaded burning engine. It's going to start to break down after a while. Cabbage, that's a leafy green, right? Cabbage is a leafy green. Asparagus, that's a non-starchy veggie. So yes, asparagus. It's going to go on the unleaded side. Fish, okay, we'll just put seafood. How about that? Monica Locke, we'll just put seafood. Right? We'll just put seafood. All right, what else? What else we got? Lentils, that's going to go in the beans family. Lentils are beans, so yeah, lentils. Quinoa, we're going to put quinoa over here. I said whole unprocessed foods, right? So we'll go quinoa. Quinoa, but again, it has an asterisk on it. Anything with an asterisk on it, you got to be careful on how you eat them. Got to be careful on how you eat it. All right, what else? Bagels. Ooh, good one. Bagels. Which category do you think? Bagels. Bagels, right there. Diesel, definitely. Definitely gonna be diesel fuel on the bagel. I mean, on the bagels. What else? Let's see. Organic sourdough bread. Bread. We're gonna put bread over here. It doesn't matter if it's sourdough or not. We're gonna put bread over here, but with an asterisk. Can you have some bread? Yeah, you can have some bread. It's about how often are you eating the bread and what kind of bread. So yeah, sourdough would be a better option. Yes, oatmeal is going to go. You can do oatmeal. It just depends on the oatmeal. So, because a lot of people eat the oatmeal wrong. So I'm going to put oatmeal over here, kind of like with the pasta and the rice. So we're going to put oatmeal over here. You can have some oatmeal, but we damn sure ain't having oatmeal in the morning. You feel what I'm saying? That's oatmeal. Take oatmeal out of your breakfast regimen. Bell peppers, yeah, those are non-starchy veggies. So we're going to go over here. Peppers, good one. All colors, right? Red bell peppers, yellow, orange, green. Cereal's going to go over here. The traditional cereals that you see in the aisles. The traditional cereals that you see in the aisles, that's all diesel fuel. English muffin. Yeah, the muffins are going to go over here. Bagels, where we put bagels. English muffin, bagel, same thing. Avocado. How do you spell avocado? Avocado, right here. It's an amazing fruit, right? Grits. Ooh, grits. Folks, I'm not even going to put an asterisk on the grits. I'm just going to put it over there in the diesel fuel category. I ain't even going to put it with an asterisk because grits, they don't have no nutritional value. All they're going to do is just spike your blood sugar. One of the foods with the least amount of nutritional value is some freaking grits. You know what I'm saying? You eat some grits, folks. You're going to eat some grits. You're going to be hungry an hour again later. Like, damn, I just ate some grits. Why am I so hungry again an hour later? You know, feel me? Grits got no nutritional value. None. Eggplant, yeah, if you can eat an eggplant, I think eggplants are gross, but they're definitely going to go on the unleaded side, though. But I think they're gross. Plant-based sweet protein powder. Plant-based unsweetened protein powder. Yes, you can do a plant-based unsweetened protein powder. Protein powder, yeah, it depends on the protein powder. Now, if you're talking about the glucernas and all of that stuff and all of the stuff that you see in the instant ones, no. Steak, you do steak over here. All right, steak. All right, what else? Pineapples. Pineapple, I'm going to put that in the fruit category. But with an asterisk, right? Because pineapple, you got to be very careful when you eat a pineapple. You've got high blood sugar. Woo, cauliflower rice, yeah. Cauliflower, I'm just going to put cauliflower. Cauliflower, yeah. Cauliflower. Oh my God, I love grits. I love grits too. My mom used to make a mean batch of grits. But when it comes to blood sugar, when it comes to overall health, man, grits ain't doing nothing but taking you all the way down. That's all they're doing. Organic ground chicken. Yeah, so you can do, we put chicken over here. So you can do ground chicken over here, organic ground chicken. That's good. Okay, you can do that. Mushrooms, good one. It's a very good one. No, most people don't usually say mushrooms, but mushrooms, folks, it's a good one. Grapes, fruit. We got fruit over here, right? But it goes in the same thing with the pineapples and all that stuff. You gotta use it in moderation. You gotta be careful with it. A ripe banana, it's the same thing. It's a fruit. You eat fruit as a dessert, folks. Just when you think of fruit, you think of dessert. That's when you think of fruit, you think of dessert. Green beans or peas. Green beans or peas. Yes, those are going to be. We'll put that in the leafy. We'll put that in the beans category. So yes, superfood. What about mangoes? Same thing. It's a fruit. You eat fruit as a dessert. Is it going to be your first choice? Is it going to be your first? As a diabetic, is mangoes going to be your first choice? No. Is pineapple going to be your first choice? No. Is grapes going to be your first choice? No. Is a banana going to be your first choice? No. Is what's another one? Watermelon. Is watermelon going to be your first choice? No. Watermelon ain't going to be your first choice. Your first choice is going to be things like berries. Now, I'm not saying you can't have that stuff. I'm just saying you got to have first choice first for blood sugar control. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, much better option for blood sugar friendly. You feel what I'm saying, folks? Do me a favor, folks. Be about that screen. If you're just coming into the live, do me a favor. Double tap that screen and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, folks. That's what we're here to crack the code on all that stuff in this live. Right now, we're talking about what food should we be eating. Is it going to be in the diesel fuel category, or is it going to be in the unleaded fuel category based on our fuel source, based on what we're trying to do? We're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, right? So it's going to either be in the diesel fuel category or the unleaded fuel category. Banana spike blood sugar, though. Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying. That's why you see this asterisk. That's why it's got an asterisk on it. You got to use them in moderation. Sugar-free Red Bull. We'll put energy drinks, sugar-free or not, energy drinks. All right, what else? Energy drinks, put that over there. Mango, sugar-free Red Bull, strawberries. Yeah, those are berries, right? Fruit. Better choice though. Pretzels. Ooh. Pretzels. Ooh, the one big one from the the carnival, and you go get the pretzels, and you go into that. What's that cinnamon spot that has like all the pretzels? You go into the mall and the cinnamon spot, they got all the pretzels. Yeah, that's definitely diesel fuel. Butter is going to definitely go over in the diesel fuel category. Butter, zero ice cream. What do you mean zero? Zero sugar ice cream? It's ice cream, right? So it's dairy. So it's going to go over here. Ice cream, sugar free or not. So we'll put sugar free up here. Sugar free stuff. Sugar free. Okay. Apples and oranges. Those are fruits. It's going to go in the unleaded category, but we're going to use it in moderation, right? How we eat the apples and fruits, eat it as a dessert. That's how you eat it. Cheese, ooh, good one. We'll put that at the top. Because a lot of people love cheese. That's the big one. I'm going to even circle that one so people see it. Cheese. That one, that's the biggest diesel fuel category that there is. Over here, if I circle something over here, it's a superfood. Right? Circle something over here, it's a superfood. Avocados, that's a superfood. If I circle something over here, that means that that's the bad stuff. You know what I mean? That's the bad stuff. You know what I mean? What else? That's the bad stuff. Butter. That's the real bad stuff. Ice cream. What else? All right. Yeah, sweet potato. We got potatoes. I think we got potatoes. I put potatoes. Only reason I put potatoes over here is because people like to get carried away with their potatoes. I could easily put the potatoes in the unleaded category, but it's all about how you eat the potatoes. So that's why I got an asterisk on them. So you can eat the potatoes, you can eat the rice, you can eat the pasta, you can eat the bread, you can eat the oatmeal. It's just how you eat it is more important than anything. That's what I teach you in this 14-day challenge, by the way. Pies. Oh, pies. Pies. Pie. Good one. Almond flour pancakes. It's still going to be almond flour. It's still going to be a whole bunch of flour and all that stuff. We're just going to put, whether it's almond or not, we prefer you do that, but it's still going to spike the hell out of your blood sugar. Okay, pancakes. I'm not even going to put an asterisk on it. All fast food diesel. Yeah, all fast food is diesel. So we're going to put fast food. The traditional fast food, right? Not all fast food, but the traditional fast foods. You know the ones. You already know the traditional fast foods. Honey and agave. That's a good one. Diesel. Honey and agave. Those are diesel fuel, right? Honey and agave. You don't want those. Olive oil, yeah, it's a good one. Olive oil, that's a good one. Yep, on the diesel. Unleaded. Sorry. How can you eat them? So how can you eat them? You eat them very strategically, right? It's about the order of the food that you eat. Here it is. Here it is. You see this right here? This is called the clean eating plate. Get yourself one of these clean eating plates, folks. But here it is. You eat your fiber first. That goes on this section. Your proteins and your fats, they go second. And then lastly, third, that's your carbohydrates or your fruit. So you eat that last. And you don't go up on the percent. You see this little area right here? That's all you eat of it. You don't eat more of it. You eat this amount or less. And you eat it last on your plate. After you've eaten your veggies, after you've eaten your proteins and your fats, then you can eat your, let's say you got some oatmeal or some rice, right? Or some potatoes. You can eat those last. That's the order in which you eat your food, folks. You do that. Woo! What should I eat when I got a high blood pressure? The same thing, right? All of this, the same thing. All of this stuff applies. This is the basics. This is the basics. You want more on this? You want to know more on this? What should you be? A list of stuff? You can download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. The Ultimate Veggie Guide is absolutely free, folks. It's free because I got like a list of these non-starchy veggies. It's called the Ultimate Veggie Guide. Link to my bio. Go grab it right here. Click here. Click on my picture again. The Ultimate Veggie Guide, folks. Good stuff. Or you can join, or if you want to get really, really serious, you can join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You want to get really, really serious about your health in 2026? You really want to get serious about reversing type 2 diabetes in 2026? It starts right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Look no further, folks. Look no further than the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. People say that I need help. I need help. Well, look no further than the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code. The discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. It's Progress. Progress is the discount code to join the 14-day challenge. How do I get that plate? It's it's in my TikTok showcase. I got them in my TikTok showcase. You know what I'm talking about? That's where they are. Get yourself one. TikTok showcase. Oh, yep. Garlic. Yeah, garlic is garlic. Yeah, garlic. That's a good one. Garlic. That's a good one. Peanuts. And we're gonna put that in the nuts category. We'll just go nuts, right? So that could be almonds, walnuts, peanuts, pecans. We're just gonna put nuts over there. So good stuff. Anybody got anything over here on this side over here? Anybody got anything over here on this side? Nuts and seeds. Ginger, yeah, ginger is going to be great. We'll put ginger up here. Unleaded, yeah, ginger. How can I get that plate? Yep, linked in my showcase. TikTok showcase. Definitely gonna tap it, brother, no doubt. How many times you got to do the 14-day reset? Well, you do it once. You do it once, and after you finish the reset, then you go on to the next thing, which is called Beyond the Challenge. Beyond the Challenge is an 8-week program, and after the 8 weeks, because you're not going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days, but you need to start somewhere. The 14-day challenge is the start. It's the start of your journey. All right, are you ready to go on that journey? A lot of people aren't ready to go on that journey yet, right, man? Because it could be a long journey. It could be a tough journey, but hell, it's going to be worth it at the end. You reverse type 2 diabetes. Isn't that not worth the journey? You know what I'm saying? I would think that it is, but hey, to each his own. But you got to start somewhere. That 14-day challenge is where you start. After that, you go beyond the challenge. 8 more weeks. I got you, right? We're gonna get all the weight off you, all of that stuff. Whatever, we got you. High cholesterol, what to eat. Same thing. Same thing for high blood. These are your fuel sources, folks. These are the basics of food. The basics. So you pull up to the gas station, you're going to put diesel fuel, you're going to put unleaded fuel into your car. Doesn't matter if it's for high cholesterol. That's all insulin resistance anyway. High blood pressure, high blood sugar. These are still the foods that you're going to eat. Doesn't matter. You got arthritis, all whatever condition that you have. These are the basics of eating. You know what I'm saying? Lentils, those are going to go in the beans family. So lentils, yes, lentils. Avocado oil, avocado oil. That's going to go up there. I'm running out of space, but avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Those are the 3 oils. If it ain't avocado, if it ain't coconut, if it ain't olive, throw it out. Those are the 3 oils: avocado, coconut, olive. Almond butter, yeah. Almond butter, you can do almond butter, but you got to make sure that it's a single ingredient stuff, right? Almond butter. Almond butter. Make sure it's a single ingredient almond butter. Make sure it's not, or maybe like 2 ingredients or less in your almond butter. That's it. That's it. Maybe some almonds and maybe like a pinch of salt. That's it. That's all you want in your almond butter. Tofu. Why you gonna do your eyes like that, bro? Tofu is great. Yeah, tofu. Hey, for my plant-based folks, tofu, tempeh, yeah, all of that. I eat tofu all the time. Okra water. Yeah, okra. You can do okra water, right? I haven't done okra water, but I heard there's some great benefits to it. I mean, I don't know, but yes, okra is going to be a non-starchy veggie, so we're going to put okra. And if you turn it into some water, even better. Cassava, yeah, isn't that a starchy? That's a starchy veggie, right? So we're gonna go cassava, but I'm gonna put it in moderation because I think that's a starchy veggie. I think it is. So you got starchy veggies and you have non-starchy veggies. Starchy veggies, the list of stuff that I downloaded for you, that I got for you to download, those are a list of non-starchy veggies, folks. Non-starchy veggies. These are some of the starchy veggies. What happens if you don't eat carbs at all? Well, nothing. If you don't eat carbs at all, your body goes into what's called gluconeogenesis. And it starts using the protein and the fat for energy. If you don't eat carbs at all, your body is smart. It's going to get glucose from somewhere. So it'll turn the protein and it'll turn the fat into glucose. Crazy. It's crazy work, man. Your body's an amazing tool. Vegetable oil is bad for sugar. Yes. Vegetable oil is bad, period. Not even just for your sugar, period. So if it ain't avocado, coconut, or olive, you throw it out. Vegetable oil, canola oil, get that shit out of your house. Like, not now. Hey, folks, get vegetable oil out of your house. Not now, but right now. Anything with enriched flour. Yeah, enriched. Like, try to avoid that stuff as much as you possibly can. But here's the thing, folks. If you score 90%, let's just say, take it back to school. Who remembers when they were in school? Anybody remember when they were in the school? Put a me in the chat. Maybe if you're in high school and your teacher pulled out a pop quiz that day, she was like, pop quiz? She pulled out a pop quiz or a test. You study for this test. What happens, folks, if you get a 90 on that test? What happens to you? You still get a 90 on your test. Who can tell me what happens, folks? Happens when you get a 90 on your test. What's the result? What's the result? Okay, broccoli, somebody got. I think we got broccoli already. No, broccoli, we already got it. What do you get on your test, folks, when you get a 90? Any guesses? Kale, meat. Okay, there it is. You get an A. You still get an A. If you scored a 90 on your test, you still get an A. So that means you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect over here either. You don't have to be perfect. Just make sure you get a 90 or better. If you get a 90 or better, okay, that's a much better option. So can you have a little bit of diesel fuel? Yeah, your body's resilient. You can have a little bit of diesel fuel. Can you go out to like friends, hang out with friends and, you know what I mean, go to like a birthday party and partake in some cake? Sure, you could do that. A very small percentage of the time. Like 10% of the time. 10% or less would be ideal. Less, the closer you go to 100, the better. But you don't have to be perfect. Just get an A on the test. Eat these foods 90% of the time, and a lot of your worries will go away. A lot of them will. A lot of them will go away. If you eat like this most of the time. Milk, definitely, milk is definitely going to go over in the diesel fuel category. I'm just going to put dairy. Dairy, okay, I'll put milk. These are definitely going to be circled. We went over that earlier. We went over dairy and milk earlier. Remember that lesson from earlier, folks? That's why dairy and milk are going to go in the diesel fuel category. You know what I mean? Stay away from that stuff as much as you possibly can when it comes to that dairy, that milk. Yeah, so, okay, that's it. Any questions on anything that we covered, folks? Any questions on anything that we covered when it comes to the food? So now, like I told you before, if you need help with this, can you share your journey? Yeah, I'll share my journey. You are on the right track if you get a 90. Yeah, that's it. You're on the right track if you get a 90. A little bit about me, if you just joined us, folks. My name's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist, Health Coach. You see, hold on. What about yogurt? Let me answer this last question. I'll tell you a little bit about me. Somebody asked. But here's the thing. What about yogurt and kefir? Yogurt, diesel, yogurt, folks. Yogurt, because it's why? Because it's dairy. And why dairy is what? Scary. Dairy is scary. So yogurt is going to go on the 10% side. Kefir too as well, right? The probiotics from the kefir. You can get a much safer source of probiotics, like maybe sauerkraut or kimchi. Those are better options than something from dairy. A little bit about me. I am a health coach, a nutritionist, but here's the thing. I wasn't always a health coach. I wasn't always a nutritionist, because a few years ago, I was actually in the worst shape of my life. I had diabetes and heart disease. I was obese, the triple whammy, all three of them. And what was crazy is I got diagnosed all at the very same doctor's visit. You know what I mean? All at the very same doctor's visit. So you can imagine what kind of visit that was the day that I got diagnosed. I'll show you a little picture. I took this picture 2 weeks before my diagnosis, folks. 2 weeks before my diagnosis, I took this picture. Look at how I'm smiling. You think I'd be smiling like that had I known I had diabetes, heart disease, and I was old? And diabetes, I knew my belly was getting big. I mean, I knew that. Like, look, I knew that my belly was getting big. You feel what I'm saying? But I didn't know that I was going to get diagnosed with the triple whammy, the hat trick, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all at the very same doctor's visit. That's crazy. Look at that. Crazy. That's crazy. So I stand here today. That was in 2021 when I showed you that picture. Or 2021 is when I made my transformation right here. That was like the beginning of 2020. This was like the end of 2021. No, it was a little, yeah, exactly. A year apart. I took those pictures a year apart. Exactly. So that's it, folks. Now I don't have any diabetes anymore, type 2 diabetes. Now I don't have heart disease anymore. And now, as you can tell, I'm no longer obese. You're like, yeah, I got some muscles. They're showing. I'm wearing like little tiny shirts. I'm wearing smalls. Folks, I can even, if I wanted to, I can fit into an extra small. I went from an extra large to now I can wear an extra small if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Crazy work. So how did I do that? I did that through changing my lifestyle, because it was the only way that I was going to do it. Do I get checked? Yeah, I get checked got a doctor's appointment coming up here on the 30th. The 30th of this month. And they're going to check my numbers and they're going to say, hey, listen, here's the thing. The only way that someone would know that I had diabetes, that I had heart disease, and that I was obese, number one, if I show them the pictures, they can tell the weight. Number two, they look at my report, A1C, triglycerides, and all that stuff. They'd never know that I had diabetes or heart disease. They'd never know my blood sugar. They'd never know. For a new doctor, only way they know is if I told them, or if they go back and pull my old records from like another doctor. They pull my record. That's the only way they know. But if they just pull my blood work right now, they'd never know. And you see, that's been going on since 2021. The clock just turned 2026, folks. 2026 we're in right now. As you can tell, I ain't gained none of the weight back, right? Look at that. I'm still looking raw. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still slim and trim. Why? It's because I maintain my pace. That's it. I created the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for my folks who are ready for serious change. If you are ready for serious change, you're ready to, in 2026, if you're ready to put insulin resistance to bed, you're ready to do all that stuff, put it to bed, finally. That's why I created this 14-day challenge. It only takes you 14 days to see a huge impact. Your overall blood sugar, your insulin resistance, all that stuff goes down. It plummets in 14 days. I bet the whole house on this thing. I'll put this 14-day challenge up against anything. I'll put it up against glycoside, we're going to bury it. I'll put it up against metformin, we kill it. If I'm pulling up against, I put it up against Ozempic. Ozempic doesn't stand a freaking chance. That's a bold thing for me to say, right? Like, what, Kelley? Like, oh, you know how big Ozempic is and all of you? What? I will confidently say, I will put everything on it. I'll bet the house. You put Ozempic up against this 14-day challenge, and we're going to kick his ass. That's what we're going to do. Quickly. It ain't even going to be it ain't even going to make it out of the first round. You ever watch a Mike Tyson fight from back in the 80s? Most of his fights didn't even make it out of the first freaking round. They didn't make it out of the first round because Mike came in there just destroying stuff. It's the same thing with the 14-day challenge against any opponent. We're taking it out in the first round. That's a crazy thing for me to say. It's crazy. The hell, I like crazy. I like crazy. If you don't believe me, you put it to the damn test. But I like crazy in a good way. How do you sustain that? Well, you maintain your pace, having a peaceful mind, having an active body, clean eating, effective sleep, especially the clean eating. That's how you maintain it. Maintain your pace. Those 4 areas. If you don't maintain your pace, it's going to come back. It's going to come roaring back like a fierce freaking lion. Is plain oatmeal and chia with banana seeds okay in the morning? I also drink apple cider vinegar and lemon water. Prefer you not do the oatmeal in the morning. Banana and with chia with banana seeds. No, that Tati. That is not a great idea. That is not a great idea. It's not. You want to do a savory breakfast, a protein, something like a chicken, steak, egg, something, whatever you would eat for lunch, eat it for breakfast. How about that? And just remove the carbs in the morning. You make it a savory breakfast. You do that. What keeps you from getting flabby arms? Hitting the weights. Hitting the weights, getting in the gym, strength training. That's what keeps you from getting flabby arms. The reason you got flabby arms is if you lost the weight, but your arms are still flabby, it means you ain't hitting the weights. You ain't hitting the gym, the strength training to build the muscle. Because you got to build the muscle. The older you get, the more muscle you got to build. Which part of the chicken is better? Well, the leaner sources. So whatever the leaner side is, so it's probably going to be the breast. It's going to be the breast. It's going to be the leaner side. How do I join the challenge? Looking forward to it. Day 3. Looking forward to it. Day 3, I'm seeing the best numbers in a long time. Shout out to you, Monica. Monica's on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Is that correct, Monica? You're on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and you're on day number 3, and you're seeing the best numbers in a long time. And she's on day number 3. I tell you, folks, I will put this thing up against. Shout out to you, Monica. I will put. That's my sister's name, by the way. So very shout out to you. I will put this 14. That was another reason that I created the 14-day challenge. It's because my sister passed away 2 years ago from, you guessed it, complications of type 2 diabetes. Because before I was still doing overall health, holistic health. I was just helping everybody with whatever kind of condition you got. I was helping you with it. All right. So whatever, heart disease, whatever. When my sister passed away, I was like, nah. Bump that. I'm going to war with insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. And what did I cook up in the lab? Woo! This is what I cooked up in the lab. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I turned myself into literally a mad scientist. A mad scientist. You click here. You click on my picture again. And you click on that link right there. Click on that link right there. There's where the challenge is. There's a lot of goodies on there, folks. But here's what you want right here, the 14-day challenge. This is what you want. Just like Monica did. She's on day 3 of the challenge. Seeing the best number she's seen in a long time. She's on day number 3. You know what I'm saying? She's still got 11 days to go. He's gonna give it even better. So check it out. Here's the 14-day challenge right here. It's normally $99 to join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Normally $99. But if you use the live discount code, which you got like 28 more minutes, you use that live discount code, PROGRESS, you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for 20% off, $79. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is the challenge. What is the blood sugar reset challenge? Explain more. It is a nutrition blueprint designed by me. I showed you my pictures. I had diabetes, I had heart disease, and I was obese. The triple whammy. I don't have any of those anymore. I decided that I was going to go to war with insulin resistance, and I was going to eliminate it from the face of the earth. So that's my goal in 2026. We putting this whole insulin resistance thing to bed. In 2027, my goal is that no one ever, like, it's going to be like a fad. It's going to be like a phase. Remember something, you know what I mean? Something's hot for a while and then it goes away. This is like, yeah, that shit ain't even hot no more. In 2027, that's what we're doing. In this 14-day challenge, insulin resistance is not going to be hot anymore. Like, it's time for a new era. Like, AI is taking over. We eliminating the insulin resistance, folks. Like, yeah, it's done. 2026, that's all it's got. You join this 14-day challenge, you're going to be on that crusade. You're going to be on that crusade, the 2027. We ain't going to be saying that same song about insulin resistance and blah, 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 and I'm tired and I got sugar cravings, and we ain't doing that no more. We're not. You join this 14-day challenge. You shouldn't have to do that, folks. You shouldn't have to worry about, you know what I mean, type 2 diabetes running your life. You shouldn't have to do that. You join this 14-day challenge and you won't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? That's how confident I am with this challenge, which over 400 people have joined. You want to join that challenge? Use the discount code PROGRESS. You're cleaning your blood. Yeah, you are. Yep, you are. 14 days. Let me sit down. Oops. Let me sit down, folks, because we're coming to the end. I'm going to bring it down a notch because we were up there for a while. Any questions over here? You're cleaning your blood. Yes, you are. I call it taking a blood sugar shower. Yes, you're taking a blood sugar shower. You're like, well, what the hell is a blood sugar shower? Well, blood sugar shower is, think of it like this. You know all that sugar that's all caked up on your stuff? All of that sugar and all that stuff? You got to go in there and just take a shower. Just imagine just jumping in a big pool of Mountain Dew. Take a blood sugar shower. You do that every day. You regenerate new hemoglobin every single day. Good stuff. So you're taking a blood sugar shower. Can we eat eggs? Yeah, we got eggs up there. Oh, can we put eggs? Yeah. Eggs was one of the first things. Uh-oh, something fell. Eggs was one of the first things that we did. One of the first things we put up on the board over here. Eggs. So that's going to go in the unleaded category. Uh-huh. All right. Any other questions, folks? Any questions over here? Any questions over here going once? Hey, folks, on this side over here, don't be bashful. You got some questions about insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, you know what I mean? Food, whatever. You throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Any questions y'all got for your boy? Here it is. When I talk about all this stuff on the board up here, we talked about what insulin resistance, we talked about our A1C, man, we talked about a lot of different stuff. We talked about how to maintain your pace. We talked about all of that. And you may not know how to do it. I don't know how to do all that stuff, man. Here's the thing. You don't have to know how to do it. You only have to know that you're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to know how to do it. Only that you're gonna do it. Because if you've got enough reasons that you're gonna do it, and reasons that you're gonna do it, the how is easy. The how is easy. So jot that one down. You don't have to know how to do it. Only that you're gonna do it. You don't have to know how to reverse type 2 diabetes. I'll show you how to do that. That's easy. I'll show you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. I'll show you how to do that. But I can't want it for you. I can't want it for you. I don't know inside of your brain, like what you really want. But here's what I will tell you. Most people say that they want to reverse type 2 diabetes. That's what most people say. Most people say they want to get off the medication. But most people don't have enough reasons. Or else they would have got rid of it by now. Because here's the thing about type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes It's probably another bold statement that I'm going to say, and people are probably going to be mad at me. Folks are probably going to check out of the live, but here it is. Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. Living with type 2 diabetes is a personal choice, folks. Craziest thing for me to say, but it is. I made a personal choice to, when I had it, I made a personal choice to reverse type 2 diabetes. Now I don't have it anymore. It's a personal choice. How long do you feel it took you to get your current knowledge level in nutrition? When I showed you that picture in 2020, I'm evolving every day. Everybody learns involved every day, right? But when 2020, when my uncle passed away, and when I was overweight and I was obese and all of that stuff, and diabetes and heart disease, and during the pandemic time, I turned myself into I figured out a solution. I turned myself into a freaking mad scientist. Instead of just sitting around, I sat around for like 2 weeks. It was fun at first. But then after a while, man, I just turned into the books. I turned into lectures. I turned into going back to school and getting certified in nutrition. Man, I just went crazy with it. I wrote books, you know what I mean? I just got crazy with it. I turned myself into a mad scientist. So I'm still a mad scientist. I'm still evolving, right? Still evolving. But I started in 2021 when I started to find out a solution. So where we are right now, 2026. How can I get started? You can get started by joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Oats, no. Oats are going to be a no-go. You can start by starting the challenge. Here it is right here. I'm going to show you how to get started on the challenge. It's linked in my bio. Do you ever fear you have the diabetes even though you're healthy? No, it's called full metabolic restoration, croissant. It's called full metabolic restoration. I don't fear it anymore. I can eat whatever I want. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years, and I told you, if I go back to the doctor right now, a doctor would never know that I had type 2 diabetes. They'd never know that I was obese. They'd never know just by looking at my numbers. They'd never know. Ever. They wouldn't know. I'd have to tell them. Or they'd have to go pull up my old report from like another doctor. It's the only way they know. So no, I don't fear it. It's called full metabolic restoration. Everybody can do that. Most 95% of people can do that. But most people will elect not to do it because it takes work. To maintain your pace every day, having a peaceful mind, having an active body, clean eating, effective sleep. That takes work. And folks don't want to do that damn work, you know what I mean? Not maintaining your pace. Come on now. So if you click here, here's how you get started. Vanetta Morgan, here you go. If you click here, you click on my picture again. All right. I'm going to answer that question too. I saw that question. But here's how you get to the challenge. So click there, you click on my picture again, and you see that link in my link that says that link. Same thing all over here on my other socials. You click on that link in my description. It's going to take you to this page right here. You know where all the goodies are right here. So, but there's the Ultimate Veggie Guide, absolutely free. It's the Ultimate Veggie Guide right here. You can get started there. That's absolutely free. That's where you can get started. Download that Ultimate Veggie Guide. You can the masterclass. You can start there. Or if you're just ready to jump the line and say, I'm ready, all that other stuff is free. You just say, I'm ready to jump the line and I'm ready to take down type 2 diabetes in 2026. I'm ready to put this thing to bed because in 2027, I ain't trying to be talking about this anymore. In 2027, insulin resistance and all that jazz. Nobody wants to talk about insulin. Who wants to talk about insulin resistance and waste their time talking about insulin resistance in 2027? You know what I mean? So I'm on a mission this year to put that shit to bed. 14-day challenge is where you start. It's where you start. So if you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, if that's you, then this 14-day challenge is calling your name. That was me. That was me. 14-day challenge is calling your name. It is a nutrition blueprint. It is a blueprint. Nutrition blueprint. Designed by me. I showed you my pictures. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity. My mission in 2026 is to eliminate insulin resistance and to put this whole talk to bed. And so in 2027, people can just freaking live their lives normally, and insulin resistance will be a freaking distant memory. You feel what I'm saying? That's my mission in 2026. The question is, are you going to get on board with that mission? If you're ready to get on board with that mission, you join this 14-day challenge. This is the start of it. This is the start of demolishing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes from the face of the earth in 2026. If you want to be on that train, you use that discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off, $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. $79, 20% off, discount code PROGRESS. Only reason I got to charge you for that because there's real people getting real results in 14 days. Want to find out who's serious? If you're serious, you'll invest in yourself. If I give it to you for free, man, if I gave everybody the challenge for free, then you know everybody on this live, everybody in the world would join the challenge. But hardly anyone would do it. You got a couple that will, a handful of folks that will, but most people won't do it. Why? Because you gave it to me for free. I don't value that. Why? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got to charge you for the challenge. It's normally $99 you join the challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS, $79 you join that challenge. That's it. Do you ever fear, no, why is it that they really try to put the title on you forever? Well, the title on you forever is because they know that you're not going to do the research to actually go and see what it really takes to get to do the work. They're not. They know that you're. Here's the thing. Shout out to my doctors. Love my doctors. But here's the thing. They know that you're not going to go do the work that's required. So they're going to put that label on you forever just to get inside of your mind to keep you coming back for more and more and more medications. Like, damn. Maybe I got to stay on these medications forever. I got to, you know what I mean? I got to stay on the insulin forever. I got to stay on all of this Wegovy and Lipitor and all that stuff forever. Because they know you're not going to challenge it. They know you're not going to step outside of the box. Most people. You're just going to be like, well, because the doctor, here's the thing. The most trusted profession in the world. In the world. The most trusted profession in the world is a doctor. Most trusted profession in the world. So if the doctor said that you got to stay this way forever, you're going to trust that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to trust that. But you want to know what I figured? You want to know what I learned, folks, when it came to my transformation? My mind thinks a little bit different than a doctor. I went to school to be an engineering, right? Technical school. I was in the oil and gas industry for 10 years, flying on helicopters on oil platforms in the middle of the freaking Gulf. Flying on helicopters out on the coast of California. Flying on helicopters to a rig off the coast of Canada, Newfoundland, in the middle of the ocean. Icebergs out there. So then what are they flying me out for? They're flying me out to come fix their equipment. That's why they're flying me out there. Come fix it. Because I'm the guy who specializes in fixing this equipment. It's my equipment. It's our equipment. You left that. Yeah, I left that. I left the oil and gas industry, right? It's big money. Yeah, it's big money in the oil and gas industry. There is big money in the oil and gas industry. Yeah. But here's the thing. My sister 2 years ago passed away from this condition called type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. So what's bigger than the oil and gas industry is the pharmaceutical industry. In America, the biggest industry in the world, in America, is the pharmaceutical industry. It's the biggest one. My sister took a bunch of medications. She still ended up passing away from, you guessed it, complications of type 2 diabetes. So it doesn't matter if there's big money in oil and gas industry. Insulin resistance is a bigger problem. It's a bigger problem than the big money in the oil and gas industry. And the pharmaceutical industry knows that, and they're capitalizing on it. You know what I'm saying? My mind thinks a little bit differently. I step out, I go outside of the box. I go way outside of the box when it comes to finding a solution, because I'm the guy that they fly out to come fix the equipment. So I gotta fix it. If I can't fix it, nobody can. So that's why I said in 2026, folks, I found the solution. I found the way to fix insulin resistance. It's called this 14-day challenge. I found a way to defeat it. I found a way to take, I'll say it. You put this 14-day challenge up against anything Big Pharma has, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take it down. Because when it comes to fixing a problem, I don't need long. I get on that helicopter, and they fly me out. I'm there for like maybe a day, maybe 2 days, and I'm flying the hell back home. Because I came in, I got in and got out, fixed the equipment, and got the hell out. Ain't no need to linger. Ain't no need to linger. Stay out here for what? The job's already done. It's the same thing with the 14-day challenge. I would put that thing up against anything the pharmaceutical industry has. I promise you, they can come after me, whatever. I don't care, whatever. I'm gonna still whoop their ass. It still don't matter. They got more money than me, sure, okay, great. But they ain't got the technical know-how that I got in my brain. They ain't got that. They don't have the real life experience of me being a diabetic and having heart disease and being obese and reverse it. They don't have any of that. All they know to tell you is obesity is a disease. That's all they know to tell you. It's the biggest load of crap I ever heard. Obesity is not a damn disease. That's what they want you to believe. Just like they want you to believe you got to take medication for the rest of your life. Doctors, most trusted profession in the world. Yes. So there it is. Did you have a problem with anxiety? I did have a problem with anxiety. Not for the reason that you think, but yeah, I did. I overcame that too. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. You're quite welcome. BB Yomi. You're quite welcome. Any questions that y'all got, folks? Don't, because we're getting ready to get out of here. We only got a couple more minutes left. So here's the thing, folks. Join if that's you, if you're ready for change, you join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and I promise you, your life will never be the same again. It won't be. It will not be the same ever again. And you're gonna get on this crusade of eliminating. We got a petition going around to eliminate, and it's called the 14-day challenge. It is to eliminate insulin resistance in 2026. So when 2027 comes around, no one's talking about insulin resistance. That's the goal. No, in 2027, we're not talking about insulin resistance. We're making a pact, right, folks? 2027, nobody's talking about insulin resistance because we're going to get him whooped his ass, and there's nothing that, you know what I mean? It's done. You're all right. Can you see the whole chart behind you? Can I see the whole chart behind you? Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's the whole chart right here. What foods do you eat? Uh-oh. That's what fell. Right there, that's what. Here it is. I gotta hold it because it's gonna fall. There it is. There it is, right here. Do you take creatine? Yes, I do. Creatine is great. Great for muscle building. Great for building strength. Great for muscle recovery. Yes. Creatine. I gotta put this over here for now. I'll get it in a second. I'll put it back up. But all right, folks, we're getting ready to get out of here, man. So I want to come on today, share some wisdom with you. Yeah, we hit the mark. Share some wisdom with you today, folks. When it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes, you don't have to live with this thing. Here's what I'm going to close it on this. You don't have to live with this thing for the rest of your life. It's just that it's just a phase, right? It's just a phase, or it's just a season. Let me say, it's just like a season. You're going to look back at type 2 diabetes, whether you had it for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, whatever. You're going to look back and be like, damn, that season of my life is up. When 2027 comes back here, you're going to look at that season and be like, man, that was 2027 was just 2026 insulin resistance. That was just all that years before. Just a season in my life. Now in 2027, I'm born again. You know what I'm saying? I'm the new me, the 2.0 version of myself. 2.0 version of yourself. Folks, you got a choice to do that or not. You got the choice. You got two choices. Either you can complain about it or you can get better. This is the only two choices that you have. You can complain about it, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, or you can get better. And the only two choices that you have. Other than that, you don't have too many more choices after that. That's it. Eating twice a day, eat for brunch, almond flour, bread, and dinner, chicken or steak. Prefer you do not do the almond flour bread if you can. You know what I mean? Stay away from that if you possibly can, right? How, Roger? What do you mean how? In between avocado juice in between avocado juice. What do you mean avocado juice? You can't get juice from avocado. You's a bad boy, Sam, if you can get juice from an avocado. You know what I'm saying? Roger that. Roger that. Did you used to be in the military? I get it. How? What do you mean, Roger? How do I lower my blood sugar? Number one is, we're going to end on here. Number one is you got to change what you're eating. That's number one. You got to switch over to real, whole, unprocessed foods. That's number one. Well, let me say number one is to cut the crap. The carbonated junk, the refined sugar, the artificial stuff, and the processed foods. You got to cut the crap. That's number one. Number two, replace it with real, whole, unprocessed foods, right? Fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. So whether that be chicken, whether that be steak, whether that be eggs, whether that be fish, you know what I mean? Whole foods, tofu, tempeh, whole foods. That's what you want. Why is almond bad? I thought it has lower carb than nuts. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's a much better option than a traditional flour, but it's still going to raise your blood sugar at the end of the day for the diabetic. So what we're talking about here. Is Splenda okay? No, it's not. No, it's not, Kitty One. That is artificial stuff. Kitty 133, that is artificial stuff. And you don't want artificial stuff. I said stuff, but I wanted to say a different word. No, that's not good stuff. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the three. If it ain't stevia, if it ain't monk fruit, if it ain't allulose, throw it out, folks. Throw it out. Throw it out. Couple more folks coming into the room. Y'all coming into the room, but we're getting ready to leave, folks, because we wrapped it up. We put in diet. If you just joined us, folks, this is what we talked about. We put in insulin resistance. We talked about how to put insulin resistance to bed in 2026, so that it never rears its ugly head again in 2027. So we talked about insulin resistance. We talked about, we gave a little diagram of insulin resistance. We talked about an A1C, what an A1C is, why that's important. And then we talked about how to maintain your pace, like the lifestyle medicine formula to keep your blood, lower your A1C naturally. We talked about that. And what else? Oh, then we even did diesel fuel versus unleaded fuel. Diesel versus unleaded, right? Which should you be eating? Should you be eating diesel fuel or should you be eating the unleaded? Like which one? Which one? Glucerna okay? No, it is not. Glucerna is not okay, folks. That's a bunch of processed. Number one is dairy. Number one is some straight up processed trash. No, you're not going to eliminate type 2 diabetes drinking glucerna. No, diesel fuel category. What flour would you suggest to control your low blood sugar? What do you mean flour? What flour? Plants. I would recommend. If you want to go get the ultimate veggie guide, get the ultimate veggie guide. That's some of the plants that I recommend. Some of the, you know what I mean? For flour, if you're talking about to lower your blood sugar, plants. I eat bread, mostly bread, eggs, potatoes, rice, meats like pork, sausage, pilates, then coffee and tea. Okay. All right, Roger that. I wouldn't recommend that, but if that works for you, fantastic. That works for you, man. Hey, knock yourself out. That's not gonna work for most people, though. That when you call right there is gonna cause a lot of people to get type 2 diabetes and become insulin resistant. But if it's working for you, if you're in there like swimwear, hey, I say, hey, who am I to tell you to change? But if you are ready for change, if you got into the point where you eating all that stuff and it's kicking your butt, I got a better option. It's called the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You click that link in my bio, folks. You join the challenge. You use the discount code PROGRESS. You join the challenge for 20% off, $79. You join that challenge. But here it is, folks, and I'll leave y'all with this. There's a lot of freebies as well, but I'm going to leave y'all with this. And then we'll be back another day to live to fight another day. Here it is. Living with type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. It's a crazy thing for me to say, but it's living with type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. Because it's a lifestyle disease. So the lifestyle, or you have a personal choice to change your lifestyle or not. You have a personal choice. Just like I had a personal choice when I reversed it, you have a personal choice. That's it. You got a personal choice. Because it's a lifestyle disease, and diet and lifestyle. You change that, you change the trajectory of your future. So that's it. It's as cut and as dry as that. It's as black and white as that. It's personal choice. So that's the thing. When we're born, we look like our parents. That's what we look like. Someone's asking what the link is. Let me show you what this link is. You click here, you click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that link. It's going to take you to that link, and you click here, click on my face, and then you click on my face again. It's going to take you to that link. That's where it's going to take you. You click on that link that says Linktree, and then there's one that says the 14-day challenge. You click on that 14-day challenge. Use the discount code PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code. You join the challenge for 20% off. But back to what I was saying about type 2 diabetes. It is a personal choice. And when you're born, you look exactly like your parents. But when you die, you look exactly like your choices.